Well, there it goes. There goes the Daverhood. And welcome everybody on this Saturday morning, first Saturday in September of 2023 to the 909th episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio Podcastio Programmio of the stream. As we do, we meet every Saturday from 9 until noon or thereabouts. Goes to
Show was 9:10.
9, number 9. No, I think we're 909 because I've been waiting because I want to call when we hit 910, whether it's a week or two. I want to call that one the one after 909 for the Beatles song. These are the things that I live for, ladies and gentlemen. These little moments of like, aha, that has been in my mind for a month now. It's like, oh, I don't want to call 909 the one after 909. I'll call episode 910 the one after 909. Get let it be. But anyway, it's always 9 o'clock somewhere, Eastern time. It certainly is. I just found out this morning that Jimmy Buffett passed away after, I don't think they're saying what the illness was, but he was hospitalized for a while. Yeah, he was. You always know, like, he was surrounded by friends and family during his, that means he's been on his way out for a while, and they've just been kind of waiting. As opposed to, it was sudden, no one was expecting. They found him 3 days later, but it was kind of like, oh boy. So, poor Jimmy. I mean, is there a person in the world who doesn't know the Margaritaville song? And is there a person in the world who can name more than 2 other songs by Jimmy Buffett?
They call his fans the parrot heads. You know why?
Why? No, why?
Because they dressed in colorful clothing for his shows.
Because he represented, with that one song, but then his whole attitude, his whole
style, yeah.
Going to a tropically Miami, or even below that, like Puerto Rico or Bahamas kind of thing, kicking back with a what kind of alcoholic beverage would that? With a margarita or a caipirinha or something. Open, shirt open, 2 buttons, kicking back, tipping the waitress, watching people, suntanning and so forth, and having life like so. He created this incredible meme that made him get zillions.
They said he even had hotels.
Restaurant chain. Restaurant chain. Yeah.
I mean, like, wow. Like, that's a way to like brand your stuff.
One is that extra one song.
I think then he wrote a lot of songs in that vein.
Yeah.
Of like the same.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure some of them were pretty good. He even had a Broadway musical. There was a Broadway show called Escape to Margaritaville. Yeah. I didn't get to see it, but I'm sure it was perfect.
Okay.
It kind of flopped on Broadway. The reviews were not bad, not amazing, but I think it did fairly well on the road because people wanted to escape to Margaritaville.
All the parrot head people, those fans.
Yeah.
It's like the Grateful Dead fans, like, and there was Taylor Swift and the Swifties or whoever they are. Like, people, they get fans and the fans will support them.
The Grateful Dead stopped making great music in about 1975, but they toured until 19. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think the fans want to have that experience. So.
Yeah, and there was probably still great in concert for many years after that, but put together a decent album. Good luck. And you know what, Buffett, give him the benefit of a doubt. Maybe some of those songs throughout the years because it was so. I'm trying. As soon as I saw the story that he had passed. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I didn't bring my phone in either. But it was weird. I had this moment, and I don't remember if it was when I was in like the school library picking up a book, or if it was Walgreens, or if it was somewhere else that we were shopping. We haven't shopped that many places the past day or two. But I noticed there was a Jimmy Buffett like CD
Really?
sitting out there. I was like, oh, we got a new album out?
Really?
And yes, and maybe it was someone, because I don't know when this came out. Yeah,
Maybe the library, remember that have CDs and new CDs that DVD and CD at the library?
yeah, but that was a week ago, and I don't think it was there, but you might be right.
Where were you? Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm literally trying to remember
Was
where
it
it might have
before he
been.
died? It was.
In other words, I didn't find out that he died until I loaded up the computer like 45 minutes ago. It was like, oh, Jimmy Buffett died. And it's either the news was out or by some weird, somebody was actually listening to a dim, and it wasn't Don't Stop the Carnival, and it wasn't the early stuff. It was, yeah. And I think he was working on a new one before. So I can't say, of course, that I'm some kind of big Jimmy Buffett fan, but we all know at least that one, that contribution. The guy who co-wrote Hang On Slippy died this week.
Oh, wow.
A couple of other songs like that. He passed away. And songs we know, the writers we forget, right? But
Do you think they played the songs at their funeral?
oh gosh,
I don't.
I don't. Well, I mean, I think at memorials they do. Like when Sondheim had, months later a memorial, everybody came and sang Sondheim songs. I remember when, who was it? You remember Ernie Shear? Yeah, you do, from the National Critics Institute when we went to the O'Neill.
Oh, yeah.
Ernie was the old guy who basically co-founded the critics part,
Yeah, yeah.
where old ticket critics went to comment on the shows that they were trying out at the O'Neill.
Yeah.
And when Ernie died, I went to his much later memorial, because he lived in Manhattan. He lived in like that apartment building I always wanted to live in over on 8th,
Oh, yeah.
where all the actors were, and you had to get on a wait, you could never get.
It's a, yeah, I don't think we work with that.
Yeah, it's like rent stabilized and nice and centrally located, like right off Theater Row. I just was like, if I could live here in New York, it'd be, but, and he lived there. I met him there one time. And he was cool. And when he died, I went to his memorial thing in Manhattan. And some guy goes, this is Ernie's favorite. No, Ernie was like 80 something years old, whatever he was. And theater critic.
Yeah.
Nice guy, persnickety at times, but really a cool dude. And he said, I'm going to play, and he brought a guitar up, right, which was weird enough. Yeah. And I'm going to play an Ernie's song, not a song he wrote, but like Ernie's favorite song. And I want you all to join me on the choruses. And no, I mean, the guy could sing. These were all actor and whatever people.
Like what the song is.
It was, you want to try and guess? You won't even, you couldn't even.
Submarine.
It was not Yellow Submarine, no.
Just Call Me Buttercup.
That would be amazing, but no. That would be amazing.
Hurt.
No, but you're almost close. I mean, Hurt, if it were more of a positive song.
Black Sabbath.
No, according to this guy, Ernie's favorite song, or one of his favorite songs, was James Taylor's Carolina in My Mind. Oh, in my mind, I'm going to Carolina. I can see this. It's a nice song, right? Well, here's the issue. And we were all like, oh, and we all joined in on the chorus. And the man did like 15 for, just over. It was like 15 minutes of singing Caroline. I'm like, the man is dead. Let him rest in peace.
Or let us rest in peace.
You do 3 verses and then you repeat the chorus maybe twice.
This is not a audition.
Yeah. This is what was in his mind that he was forcing us to do every lyric?
Because he was on audition, probably got someone from the audience.
Wow. And I don't recall if we were just looking at each other, but at a certain point, everybody was like, okay. Do you like any other tunes?
We should have started I would have started clapping.
Yeah, right. Except it was a memorial. Well, you did clap at memorials, yeah. But at Jimmy Buffett's funeral, will the organ, if there's an organist, will they start playing, da 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 da, or if they play and everybody sings along, which would be kind of sweet, If he has a memorial, where was it? Missouri or Florida or Mississippi or whatever his home? thing was. So yeah, I wasn't even going to talk about that because the other, and I'm not sure why I'm opening this with all the dead people, but of course this was also the week we lost Bob Barker, and probably should have had my friend Jeff Goodman on here. Bob Barker was a huge pro, like don't kill tigers, don't kill things for. Was he a vegetarian too, as opposed to just don't wear coats?
Rescue pets. I mean, he had a good heart for animals.
Yeah. So we all knew Bob Barker.
And the big thing was like he stopped dyeing his hair, and then like the way they taped the shows, one show his hair was dyed, and the next show his hair was just so white.
And it wasn't between seasons.
I don't know what happened. People were like, "What?"
Yeah. What happened was he got old and he owned up to it. Good for him. Yeah. But it is that kind of weird thing of.
And Vanna White said she got started on that show. She was a contestant.
She was a contestant.
Yeah, she posted a picture of her as a contestant. In those weird like desk kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, Bob Barker helped me get me started.
Well, did the producer spot her there, or did she happen to be a contestant and then 3 years later
They didn't go in detail. She just tweeted a picture of herself and said, that he helped her get started.
Wow. Well, all right. Well, I always assumed kind of Jeff Goodman, my friend, probably wanted something more to come out of his incredible moment on television when Jeff. You remember Jeff used to co-host this show for a couple of years. He co-hosted a show with me on a college radio station during that time as well. And Jeff loved The Price is Right.
There's a good movie on, I think, Netflix about it, but I can't
Really?
watch it because there's a music underlay music that I can't tolerate.
Oh,
but it's all about like the show. Yeah.
All about The Price is Right.
Yeah. We watched some of it and we couldn't hear the
yeah.
narrative, like you're talking over that.
Oh, they didn't balance the audio correctly with the. Because and it's almost like the show itself. Because Jeff told me because. He literally made the trip to go on and be a contestant on The Price is Right. And this is going back about 10, 15 years. Well, he knew also that Bob Barker was not going to be doing it that much. He wanted Bob. Yeah.
I'm sure they do.
And he went, and I'm sure he has a video clip. I'm sure the video clip is up on YouTube. And Jeff was the perfect kind of contestant because he was bouncy. He loved the show. He's bubbly. He's
they tell them. Even my friend Tony was on the one with Wayne Brady.
Yeah.
Let's Make a Deal or whatever. I don't know what it's called.
I think it was Let's Make a Deal. Yeah.
But they pick you, so they cattle call you, and then they like cherry pick people they think are going to be good, and then they want you to have like a story. They want you to be like up. They tell you like all the things you need to be,
And in Price is Right, Jeff was like, first of all, they keep it like 60 degrees, so you're bouncing up and down. And it's literally like. If you were in Vegas and they pushed all the machines together in front of you, and there's like light and flash. You think at home it's like so easy to just pick them up, write a price down with. You have no idea. You're standing there. It's like being in the middle. Oh, it's okay. I mean, it's 6 a.m. there.
Oh no.
Because he lives in Vegas. He literally lives there. No, I mean I should have thought about it this week and had him on to talk about his Price is Right experience with Bob Barker, man. And I think he got a small prize. He didn't win a big prize, but he did well. But the thing was about meeting Bob.
Like you get the prize, but they mail it to you later. Like she was like, "Do you like olive oil?" It's like, "Yeah." She's like, "I have like a lot." And they mail you all this prize.
Which is actually good. Because otherwise, you're schlepping whatever on a new car. You're not going to take that and carry on. But the other sort of sad part about Bob Barker thing is it was also a reminder, just as with Alex Trebek, that as much as we think they are the show, they are the reason the show is the show, and they're irreplaceable. And then you realize everybody's replaceable. Like Bob Barker.
I don't think he was replaceable. I think he was the one who started it. And I think like Drew Carey came in and did something different. But I don't think he was replaceable.
As himself, no. But the show didn't die when he died. Arch, what do you call that? All in the Family, when Edith left, it kind of,
I
it didn't
remember
die
that.
immediately, but it was not the same. But Bob Barker, like, is a well, Bob Barker's leaving, the price of oil. Who will they get? Who could they possibly? They got Drew Carey, and he was fine. You know, people got used to him. It might have taken a week or two. They probably lost a few
Who
viewers.
did Let's Make a Deal before Wayne Brady?
Monty Hall.
Oh, yeah.
Monty Hall, who, by the way, was a nice Jewish boy,
Yeah.
whose daughter is Broadway actress Joanna Gleason. I've been trying to get her on the show for a long time. But yeah, I mean, Monty, that goes on. And of course, my God, who could ever replace Trebek, right?
Oh, yeah.
Alex Trebek, how could he ever? Well, first of all, when I grew up,
Who's doing it now?
well, here was the deal. You had Ken Jennings,
Oh,
who was the
Jeopardy-
right
Jeopardy
choice.
Ken. Yeah, you're
Jeopardy Ken. He's and he was switching up for special occasions. Mayim Bialik
Yeah.
was
Who's doing it now? Like,
just they finally Mayim just was not cutting it with people. Just like didn't matter. It was the game when they had Aaron Rodgers, who was the quarterback of the New York Jets. He did a couple of weeks when they were looking for interim people, and he was very good looking, but he's just not great, you know. So Maya Bialik, people didn't like the way she dressed. She was kind of dowdy. She was very know-it-all. She would wait too long between the answer and giving the thing. So now, you know, I think she's having some, I don't know, health issues, or so, but she stepped away. So it's going to be Ken Jennings all the time.
oh, good.
Who was the right?
Yeah, because he who knows the game but the player. I mean, he knows the.
But you know what? Have they even gone with LeVar Burton?
Oh, I like.
Nobody really.
I love LeVar Burton.
He would have been fine.
He was the Reading Rainbow guy. I loved him.
Yeah. That's exactly why, because he was and Star Trek. But
oh, the Trekkies, they would have increased their audience.
Yeah.
If they would have put Star Trek questions and had LeVar Burton, my God.
Which I wonder if they probably did, like when he was hosting that week or two or three. Yeah. But what we haven't talked about this whole time, who can replace Alex Trebek on Jeopardy? It's like
Pat Sajak, right?
that Pat Sajak. But when I was growing up watching Jeopardy,
Yeah.
it wasn't Alex Trebek. Alex Trebek was doing like high rollers. Nobody even knew who they had this like porn stash. It was Art Fleming. Do you remember Art Fleming? And back in the day when literally they would go to the board, the Jeopardy board, and you could see there's like a human behind it with a hand pushing the cube
like
or
Panda,
sliding
like
the. Yeah. And Art Fleming was great.
Yeah.
You read the question, you jolly up to the contestants briefly, and you get the job done. And when Ken Jennings has to go, it's all he's so good. Who's going to replace? Somebody. If the game is the game, if the format is fine, Pat Sajak, who can get somebody? Who can replace Vanna White turning that? Somebody. You know. So, but it is a little sad because we all want to feel like we're these incredibly unique, wonderful snowflake stars, and it's like you are replaceable eventually by AI, eventually by ChatGPT or something like that.
But it hallucinates. So ChatGPT and all the AI, like sometimes they make up stuff that's not true. It's fake.
Yes.
And so like it's like having a form of dementia where they're like, boop. They're like, you did this article, this person did this or that, and it's completely wrong. These two people work together on this event, like no.
But it is coming to the. I mean, you know, both of the universities we work at. I mean, I literally had to just take a new paragraph to put into my syllabus at one of the places that we teach, talking about like you can't. You know, it's okay to use AI. They don't want to use the phrase ChatGPT. Because they don't want to tell kids who don't know that exists. So they're just calling artificial. You can use AI for this, this, and this. But if you use it for this kind of thing, that steps into plagiarism or cheating, or you're wandering into a minefield because. But it is only a matter of because it never occurred to me. Technically, spell check is AI. Yeah. And we want our kids using spell. We really do. We wanted them using spell check for.
Spell check is an AI.
What is it then?
I think it's different. When AI or ChatGPT and those things, they're generative of text.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it may suggest text, but I think it's a different feeling. It's like, spell check won't write a paper for you.
No, well, no, but spell check is 20 years old.
And it'll offer like a sentence. It'll say, hi, how are you doing? are you interested in meeting? Or,
Yeah.
but
Well, or when I text
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's already like half the time, what I'm about to send you is like the next word. Yep, that's it. That is the next word. That's the next word.
when do you ever text me?
No, it's true. It's true. It's like,
I'll text you now.
I don't have my phone, but yeah.
I'll text you an AI message.
All right, yeah, just pick words at random because it will throw them up at you. And we're at the point where the words that it'll throw, no matter what, it'll try and get a word to turn it into an intelligible sentence. We're at that point.
Now my text message has like auto spell correct. It gives me commas. It puts in,
Yeah.
It's great.
It's and I think we will be in probably 5 years at the point when we tell our students and stuff about AI and ChatGPT and things. Like, okay, we're not going to teach you how to write essays anymore. What we're going to do is teach you how to take all the components that you need for your essay,
and
put it into ChatGPT, let it do the work, and then you do the final draft, which would actually be a time saver, which would actually be probably what they'll end up doing at work most of the time for their job stuff anyway. So why are we killing ourselves trying to do grammar and whatever? Just like this, name of this, and this, and here, please craft something, and I'll read it over. And how far away are 10 years from novelists like Stephen King, like Knife, Cabin, Clown.
But you have
teeth.
the way you say it is you tell ChatGPT, write a story that includes the following elements.
Right, and it will now. But people say, oh well, it'll lose the human element. You can't, because now it will. What the next iterations of it? It's like, oh, when people were playing chess against computers 30 years ago, like, well, sometimes the computer would win, but the human, because the computer couldn't quite figure out the weirdness of humans. He thought of 5 more years, you won't be able to beat a computer at chess.
I'm gonna replace you with an AI husband.
Oh, are you really? An AI husband? What do you expect from an AI husband?
Nice stuff.
Yeah. So, well, yeah. If you hook up your AI husband to a 3D printer, you can get into a lot of things.
Here I go.
Yeah, I think that could absolutely work.
That's what I'm doing.
You're watching the Dave's Gone By Facebookio podcast.
How's your bunion cushion?
Oh. Shall I show the people at home?
Is it on there still?
It is.
Good.
It is. I forgot. So one thing I can talk about, because last week we had gotten back from Philadelphia. We had all these things to discuss and all these things. Now it's just work, teach, work, teach, sleep, etc. But I don't get it. I got shoes for the new semester. I broke in the shoes for like a week and a half before the semester. And then something about them, and then they're exactly the same brand, the same kind of shoes I had been wearing that were quite wonderful for the last bunch of months, for like the last previous semester. And I put these new ones on, and they're fine, and then suddenly, like, my first thing, they're pressing, they're rubbing, they're thinking, and it gives me, like, it wasn't a roundy blister thing. It was more like an open cut sore.
I think it was the blisters when you rubbed in.
Yeah, and then of course for most of the days in the week, I'm on my feet a lot and making it worse and worse. And I don't want to put on my older shoes because they're falling apart.
Leave your sock off on that foot.
Leave the sock off?
Yeah.
All right. I can do people want to see my bunion pad?
Let me see.
It's not really. Yeah, I guess it is sort of the bunion. I don't want to pull this off, but this is a really brilliant idea.
It's like a hemorrhoid cushion.
for my foot. So look how cute. Look how cute. Sorry. Yeah. I don't think I've ever shown my foot on camera. And yes, I am wearing pants. Is this entertainment, people, or what? Just, so you can see like the slight openness. We put peroxide on it. There he is.
Let me see it. Oh, it's looking way better. Look.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But also, I didn't wear my new shoes yesterday.
Yeah, but also you need to let it. Let me see it. Show it to me.
Yeah.
Oh, David, it's almost healed. It looks like this one. See, that's what you're going to.
Oh, good.
Look at
I just hope it doesn't, when I start teaching again on Tuesday, it doesn't get exacerbated.
Just wear one of those things when you teach.
And see if that works.
Or wear moleskin. We have moleskin. You could put it on your bunion.
Whatever works, because even when I touch it and tap it now, because I'm one of those people sometimes who's like with a canker sore. I was like, if I touch the canker sore with my tongue, it's going to hurt. I think I'll touch the canker. Let's see how much it hurts.
Let me see it just real quick. Just put it over here.
All right. Yeah.
No, stay there. You don't have to leave your thing. Oh,
Joyce is looking at my.
Look how you just had to dry out a bit. Now your thing looks exactly like this thing. See?
Yeah. Do you want to show the camera your foot? Yeah. Come on.
I can't lift it that high.
Oh, I can move. Well, no, I'm going to show your face.
Yeah. See, it's going to dry like that.
Is this entertainment or what? Let's look at David's bunions and compare them to his wife's one.
We should do Bunion Watch, you know? What's the state of the bunion today?
No!
Here,
weekly segment.
I'm going to give you the lead-in.
We need music. We need,
I'm going to give it to you. Hold on, wait. I dropped my drum.
Looking through a glass bunion. Bunion Watch! And the thing that's really messed up is that this is my quote-unquote good foot. My big bunion is on this foot.
Do you want me to put something on there?
Well, this one's just got a little red, but it wasn't.
It can't hurt to.
See,
I think I would wear probably one of those on each of them, just to give them when you wear your sneakers, just to give it like a buffer. Because even the way I had that, it's from friction of the skin rubbing against the sock or the thing, so that is like a little cushion. But I purposely got like, shoes that I knew about. I broke them in. I wore cushy socks. Try another pair of that same type
of shoe.
Because what I learned, like things are made on an assembly line. Yeah. And sometimes, like someone said to me, like you may try on a pair of pants and say, why am I wearing a medium or large when I should be a small or extra large? Sometimes when they're making something in a factory, they run out of a label. And so instead of putting a medium, they're going to put a large. And sometimes it gets through. So maybe those were made smaller. Or something. Or just the way they're... Because they do fit. I mean, remember, as I said, I need wide... Wear the bigger size. Yeah. I think this is the 8. Oh, then maybe try the smaller one. Yeah. There's too much room. Something just about them, or the way it pushes down right in that area. It made me feel bad for all these women over the years in offices and stuff in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, when they had to wear nice shoes and heels and things, and then at teachers, and after their feet are killing them, and you figure, because they're just sore. No, they're rubbing, they're hurting. So the worst thing I've ever seen, one guy was an actor, he was a dancer. He showed me his back scar. He had a metal rod in his back from dancing on Broadway, and then he showed me his feet. Like when you do dancing and like ballet or toe dancing, their feet and toenails, it's horrific. Wait, their toenails? They can cut their toenails. No, they have nothing. Because they're always like, it's not good. Oh, because they're on point, maybe. Yeah, because they're like constantly gnarly. Whoa. And they're wearing bad stuff. They have to wear costume things. But this is Dave's Bunion Watch for Saturday, September 2nd, 2023. Here we go. I'm going to have to lean back a little bit for this. Here we go. Okay, so this is the bad left foot bunion. Normally the better bunion. Look at the size of this friggin' bunion. Actually, it looks worse when you see it from this side, but look at that thing. Oh! This is the foot fetish moment of the Dave Star Live Facebook video podcast. Look at that. Behold. Actually, if I get some foot fetishes, so I kiss the bunion. No, I think it's like an ad for podiatry. Maybe you'll get a podiatrist. Right. I always figured. Does anyone come to the home and will address your bunions? Home bunion specialist. I'm sure. Podiatrists go to your folks and they go to my folks and they do things in the house. I'm sure they could. Yeah, the guy clipped my dad's toenails. Who would come every month or something because Dad couldn't do anything. Maybe we should get someone for you. Yeah, I don't know, but that was also a fear of mine in my 30s. That by the time I was in 50s or something. My bunions would become so painful and so... Your aunt had surgery where they shaved it. I thought I'd have to do the same thing. Because you get the hammer toe over the thing. Yeah, my grandmother had that. I'm not going to give what they call a canine a her. I'm not going to say, but so far, they're big, and I guess sometimes they rub. But maybe we could update next week for What's it called?
It's Bunion Watch.
It's like
Bunion Watch.
I thought of gonorrhea watch. Like that's the It's the same thing.
You know, this week I wore a gonorrhea watch. Smelled terrible. But no, if you've been watching the show, when Joyce and I went to Maryland, what was Norfolk?
No, we went to Virginia and then Philly. And
Right.
so
On our Virginia trip, there are billboards, more than one, giant billboards along the highway, warning people about gonorrhea outbreaks. So your travel is like, you figure you're gonna have a billboard for Shoney's, eat McDonald's,
or anything like Rest Stop or like Visitor Center or Liberty Bell or
Evangelist so and so is coming to play the local. I think it's like gonorrhea watch, and you just see this. It was like a surf breaching some kind of wall.
It was like a tidal wave.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you ever notice like how much news and press and social and everything just before and when a terrible weather calamity is happening, and then a day later, it's completely forgotten by the media.
Because I always think the weather news people are like the low people on the totem pole. So, like all of the reporters and stuff have their little gig. What does a weather person have? They have to hope for some weather event to get some, airtime.
Not really. I don't agree with that because I figure it's the one thing everybody kind of wants to know. Everybody wants to know, how's it going to be tomorrow?
Yeah.
Do I have to bring an umbrella?
But it's not the weather people, it's their computers from some central location that are feeding them.
Doppler 9000.
Yeah, they're not doing
But it's just sort of like, oh my, coming to Florida, a theater near you, hurricane this, and typhoon and this, that, and then over and over again. And then when it's happening, you go looking for the live footage because you want to see destruction. And they always have the cameras in a place where, like, water looks a little choppy. They have it on a street where there's a little bit of puddling on the. It's like, this is the middle of like a hurricane happening. You're like, okay, Florida, we're live. And it's like, there's a car driving slowly down the street.
Behind a bike.
Yeah. I thought everybody back. Who is this? It's not like a police vehicle.
Yeah.
There's people out shopping. There's people walking around. It's nice. They always have the beach thing where you see the pier. And okay, the pier kind of slowly goes lower and lower under the. But without before and after pictures, you're not really sure what you're seeing anyway. You don't know how low the pier is or how long the thing is.
Yeah.
So you're watching, and there's nothing. You're like, this is boring. I don't want action. I want the George Carlin thing. I want to see cows flying through the second floors of buildings. I want to see mass destruction and horror. And it's like, oh, it rains. I guess it's kind of, and literally there was one where it's like in the middle of this footage of everything, and in the light rain.
Oh wow!
There's light rain in Florida. Why is this a thing? And then there's always that gap where during happening you see nothing major, and then it takes about 12 more hours, and suddenly there's footage of destruction. Then suddenly it's people wading through the streets for their cars, overturning
Maybe
this.
They don't allow people in. I saw things in Florida where there were houses on stilts that were flooded.
And I guess people can't necessarily broadcast their own because they've lost electricity and Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm going to stream the destruction of my basement now, and they don't. But nobody's talking. I mean, Florida got little parts that got devastated. Who's talking about it? Hawaii, Maui, which by the way, I thought, oh my God, all of Maui's burning down. 4 square miles burned down. That was like 170 square miles. I thought, oh my God, we're going to lose the island of Maui. It's going to be a giant ashtray. And it was like, yeah, no, we lost this much of.
That's a lot, though.
Well, it's certainly a lot for people who died or had their possessions burned down and all these things. But I'm just kind of like, and now, Hawaii goes, and the news cycle goes on. The whole build-up, I mean, even following, what was it? There was Katrina, and what else was there on the East Coast?
There was Maria, Sandy.
Sandy.
There was Maria, all the hurricanes in Puerto Rico, DR, and Haiti.
Yeah. But even like Long Beach, and Long Beach was devastated by Sandy.
That's true.
And it took a decade to really build it back. But after Sandy was over, 2 days later, unless we're reading Newsday,
Yes.
The world, all they ever said, that's old news. Things are still broken, but
that's what a lot of people
news.
hope for. If like you're a politician or somebody who's in a story,
Yeah.
you hope that something bigger happens so that you're not, you're not.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, film people always feel kind of bad. I think I know it was this that Groucho and Elvis died at about the same time. And Elvis got, well, we lost Groucho.
Grab my phone just so I can look.
Yeah, please do. But, I felt so bad for the memory of Groucho Marx. It was like the passing of the ultimate comedy icon of American film, of American not letters, but, and who should pass away at the same time? Elvis. And all the headlines, all the front pages, and by the way, Groucho died. Well, so it goes. Anyway, I want to remind you, you're watching the Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the Stream with me, Dave Lefkowitz, my wonderful, adorable wife, Joyce, and all of you watching at home. We have teeth, because I'm a bit of a chatterbox today. Thank you. We also have flying chicken. I'm not going to launch him at the moment, but it is a rather wonderful thing. And, we do have a potato. I believe we do have potato with us. Hi! Hello, potato. How are you? I'm very proud of... Why are you proud of me, potato? Oh, potato says, earlier in the week, as kind of a reward for how difficult it is to get through the first week of classes and everything, treated me to a prime rib at a local restaurant. And I did not, because it came with a side, I did not choose as my side French or mashed or hash browns or tater tots. I went with a distant cousin, the sweet potato, which is very good, by the way. The yam. So he's very, he has good feelings for me. And I haven't told him that earlier that day I had a hamburger with some, what's next to it. What? No, nothing, potato. Nothing at all. Just pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. So yeah, to find out more about this show, go to davesgoneby.com. DAVESGONEBY. davesgoneby.com. Not only can you find out what shows are coming up and what else we're doing, but our archives reside there. So all the audio archives of the radio and podcasty shows that we've done for the first 15 years of this program are there. Virtually every show, every interview, everything is there, davesgoneby.com. And then we started doing video and camera stuff in the last 4 or 5 years, and those are there too, davesgoneby.com. You can also get the same material, sometimes in even higher quality, if you go to archive.org and the Dave's Gone By channel. So archive.org, davesgoneby.com, or if you're on the go, out and about, and you just want to hear the show, and you don't need to see it, you can download it as a podcast by going to castbox.fm. Castbox.fm. And as I said, it's basically, you can probably download us from all the sites, including davesgoneby.com, but I guess that one's sort of just more regularly like, ooh, we're a podcast, download us, take us on the go, boom. We have a YouTube channel, the Dave's Gone By channel, and just lots and lots of ways to access the same material that we've been doing since 2000. Well, the same show. It's not the same material. Sometimes it is. That we've been doing.
Bunion Watch is new.
What?
Bunion Watch.
Bunion Watch.
It's new.
Yeah. I may have to separate that segment out and do like Bunion Watch September 2nd. Bunion Watch September 9th. Bunion Watch. Yeah. That would be. That's a hell of a segment, isn't it? I'm going to have to add that. I'm going to have to note that we do Bunion Watch.
You should try to get a sponsor for that.
Dr. Scholl's, yes.
Dr. Scholl's, or maybe, I don't know who else does foot stuff, but you could try to get, well, when we go later, there's a store called The Good Feet.
There you go.
They make inner soles and like, that. Maybe
or Uggs, the company. Or,
yes, you could talk to them,
Or just like beg Nike. because they have so much money. It's
Yeah,
like,
oh,
you
we
know,
saw that, yeah, remember that show? It was about, and One, which was like a sports company brand.
yeah.
And they really did like street basketball, and they featured like street players, not professionals. And then, according to them, Nike like picked up that in their advertisements and like took over their market, and and they were saying like Nike just had way more money than this company
Well,
you know.
but imagine if Nike is watching this. Mr. Nike is watching this right now,
I
and is inspired.
I think it should be Dr. Scholl's, because that's more people who stand on their feet would probably, that Dr. Scholl says the thing in the drugstore where you go and you step on it and it tells you which intersole. Maybe they could put it like you step on it and it tells you what's good for your bunion.
Or the guy who made the foot measurer metal shoe thing.
No,
So who invented that?
Your foot spacer, your foot thing.
Yeah, with like the
Yeah.
the inches and the centimeters
No,
on
I
it.
mean the little rubber thing you put between your toes.
Oh, those.
Yes.
That's not Dr. Scholl's. Who is that? That's another company.
I don't know.
I think Scholl's makes them too.
What
But
are
then
they
there's one
called?
that makes them like little
Foot spacer.
squishy.
Toe
Yeah.
spacer.
Toe spacers. Who makes toe spacers? Get them on the phone now. I need to talk to them. I need to pitch.
It came up toenail fungus.
Thank God I do not have that. No.
Oh, look at these.
Ooh. They should make them in different colors. They're always just either
This is
clear.
like you put all of them in there. Yeah.
Oh, I don't like, no, I just like the little separators. The toe individual separators. Which are supposed to correct your big toe from doing a hammer toe thing. It doesn't really, but if your bunion inserted, it's actually quite
They're all
helpful.
connected. They have like little.
They're all connected. They're gonna keep your toes, gonna keep your feet, gonna keep your toes connected. Ow.
They're all like. Oh my God! There's so many things. I don't see the one you want.
Oh
Oh, here
no!
you go. Here's Runner World. Best toe separators from Runner's World.
There's an article on the best toe separators from Runner's World. There we go. The 5 best toe separators. Well, I should have done this in Bunion Watch, but we can add this. Oh, now see.
No.
You put this thing in. It's sort of like putting
All
your
your
feet through a
toes?
gate. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm showing a blue.
Yeah, it's nice.
Well, they're nice, but where's the? Just give me the. Oh, here we go. Yoga toes.
Oh,
Yoga
I have
toes.
yoga socks that separate my feet.
And they're gel toes. Pedifix. That's it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Visco gel toes. That's what
That
a Visco
sounds
is.
nice.
Yeah. And then correct toe separators. Look at these.
Let me see that.
It's hard to see, but they're the little Visco.
Yeah.
No, I love these things.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and 5 stars, you gotta get toe separator, hammer toe straightener,
Ooh,
where it goes, I guess, around the whole toe.
That's good. Maybe you need that.
Yeah. There's a little plus, a little bonus to Bunion Watch that we're showing with you later.
Well, that's like your treatment section.
But or just calling these folks and say, hey, we're doing a segment on this
I
podcast.
think you could be a bunion influencer. That could be. I think that maybe is your calling. You could be a bunion influencer.
And we're watched by single digits, maybe even dozens of people every week
How
here.
many hours can you wear?
Oh yeah, how many?
Yes,
I used to like to sleep with them on. Because they make my foot, feel, but it gives you, it just goes, whoop.
You can wear them for a short period. You're not supposed to wear them all day.
Oh. Speaking of periods, we did get our monthly shipment of Always Maxi Pads again. Been talking about this too, that, for months now, since Joyce and I moved to Maryland, at first couple of weeks we were stocking the house. We had to buy stuff, so we were using Amazon, eBay, just to get furniture and sundries and plates and utensils and lamps, and some stuff was coming all the time. And then one particular
here's
week,
the one you like.
show me. Well, one particular week, I open the Amazon box and it smells kind of floral. So I'm like, oh, what house did this come from?
What do we order?
And we order, and I open it up, and just in complete amazement, 2 boxes, not one, a big box with 2 smaller boxes of scented Always Heavy Flow Maxi Pads.
Are they heavy flow?
Well, they're normal.
Are they heavy flow?
I'm just being funny. I don't know
I
if
didn't
they're,
know if they
yeah.
were.
But it's sort of like, of all the things, right? So I'm like, huh, Joyce, did you order these? No.
No.
Joyce is like, Dave, did you order? No, I did not.
No.
And we, of course, go looking on the thing, because occasionally, like one time long ago, we had what was the thing that was accidentally
Alexa
delivered?
or something.
You know, an Alexa that should have been delivered across the street when we lived in New York, and it came to us. And yeah, okay, you'll get that wrong Amazon order. They get one digit on the address wrong. It goes to so and so. Or I got our next door neighbor's mail last week, like 2 different pieces of mail. And I threw it back, threw it back in the mailbox. But so we call Amazon, because we want to make sure we're not being charged for, which is probably worth about $30 or whatever the 40 maxi pads are worth. I don't know. I stopped using maxi pads in my 20s, and they call and they say, "Oh, so sorry, must be a wrong whatever," because the address was correct. Our names were, these were being delivered deliberately to us, but it was probably like one little number wrong in the Amazon something. So we say, okay, we don't need it. Can we just leave it for Amazon? They say, no, keep it. Because honestly, really, if a box of maxi pads goes from house to house, do you really want it going from one place to somebody else who's ordered it? Who knows? So they said, no, it's okay. We're sorry for the inconvenience. Well, of course, you're not going to be charged for this, but we cannot figure out who these are actually for. We sent them to you. There's some kind of number where it went from here to here to here, but we have no idea who ordered these or why they're coming to you. So keep them as our gift. And of course, what gift could Joyce and I use more or love more?
I know the Ismia said, why couldn't it be a flat screen TV, or why couldn't it be a
she's in her
laptop?
getting towards her mid-50s. I'm almost 60. We do not. Well, we don't have children. We have potatoes, and they're pretty dry. We did not need maxi. So I was like, what the heck? All right, fine. And I didn't have the time or wherewithal to put these things on eBay. Just, you work in a school, bring them in. I'm sure there's students there who are having their Aunt Flo coming for the week. Just leave them out there for anybody who wants them. Just like they do. We have a health center in the other place. You can just come and grab a condom or 2 or 3. Just take them because they want you to have access to these things. And that's fine. And then about 4 or 5 weeks later, we get another box from Amazon. And I open the box, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And there were 2 more boxes of maxi pads. I mean, the high quality, like always maxi pads.
What are they called? Always?
I'm really not, but I think they're wings.
What's the average price for always maxi pads? Overnight maxi, what's the count of them? 20, 27?
It's either 40, I think it's 20 in a box, so 40 total.
Okay. So 1 box.
Yeah. What's the going rate?
Doesn't have the price. I don't see the price. Do you see a price?
And they're not having a Labor Day sale on.
$6.29 on Target on sale.
Is that all?
But that's on sale. I think
All right.
If it's a pack of 20, I think it's more than.
All right. So all right. So we're getting about $15 worth of merch minimum.
These at Amazon say 10.47.
There you go.
That's 36 of them. It depends.
Yeah. So all right. I thought it'd be a lot more. So, but someone is still sending us accidentally or missending or something like that 2 boxes. So we call Amazon again. Said, you know what happened last month?
Yeah.
It happened again.
Yeah, and again.
And then like, there's nothing we can't track it. We don't just keep them. There's no place. I mean, I check the bills. I check the credit card. We're not paying for these things.
No,
They're just coming to us.
They can't. Yeah, but also it's a hygiene product. They don't want it back.
Right. But we don't want to keep it because they're smelly.
No,
we don't have.
It's a waste of stuff.
Yeah, and it's for waste product, sort of.
But even if I did need it, I wouldn't use something that has fragrance.
Right.
It's very like.
I mean, why would you want something smelling like that going into your hoo-hoo?
Because I think some people feel like that smells, the blood smells, and they want to overcome the blood with another smell.
I mean, I say that knowing that tons of people use like a deodorant that has scent,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
going
yeah.
into your pores.
I think people want the fragrance to cover what they perceive as body odor, but it's natural smell.
Yeah, you don't want to take away the blood and a little bit of the stank if you're stanky, but not suddenly smell like a lavender garden.
We're really lucky that the woman who like helps us clean the house, that she has 2 sisters.
Or she said she has 2 sisters. Maybe she's got on eBay.
No.
It's like, here we go.
No, but that's good for them because
It's wonderful. Yeah. No, so we have someone who comes to clean once a month, and happily, as Joyce says, so we would give them to her.
Yeah.
Instead of bringing them to school, we give them to her because she can give them to her. So wonderful, fine. And then next month we get another box, and then about 2 months go by, we don't get a box.
No, we had 2, and I had to tell her, I'm like,
Yeah, and then I mean, this has been going on for several months now. And what happened is because
I thought it was done because there was a gap, but there was a lag.
There was a lag, and what happened was this time, just this past week, we because we've been busy with this and going to a conference and haven't been home and making arrangements. It was about 6 weeks between the time that we had our house cleaned.
Yeah.
So we had a box from a month and a half ago.
Stuff waiting for her,
And the day before our person came to clean, we got another box of maxi pads waiting on our front stoop. So we were saying, here, these will keep your sisters really, really fresh and feminine for the next month or so. Yeah. But as Joyce said, couldn't someone who wants to send us something, like, why couldn't it be a flat screen TV? Have one in every room.
Yeah.
Couldn't it be, I don't even, more Keurigs, not that we anymore, but what would we, a lamp. We would have a lamp everywhere and then give our friends lamps or something like that, or ellipticals. There's like, your new ellipticals here. As I put it next to the 5 old ellipticals, and just go on Craigslist. Would you like an elliptical for $25? Sure.
But even when they made the mistake with the Alexa, they said keep it, and then they're like, just keep it. And then I looked, and it was like, hi, Jennifer, this is Auntie Sarah, happy whatever. Yeah. And then I was like, oh, I know that's the neighbor's kid.
Yeah.
So I figured out, we figured out who it was. And I Googled the name of the box, and I did some investigation, but they told us just keep it.
Well, yeah, because once you open the box, who's gonna, they don't know what you've done, they don't know your fingerprint, they don't know what you've,
that's like.
And as it happened, you knew it was across the street, and I even talked to them, and they said, oh yeah, we were waiting for it was a birthday gift for the, sorry. Not sorry, not my fault, but would you ever want a wired house like that, walk in, tell the lights.
But then when the Wi-Fi goes out, you get screwed. Right? So I like smart homes, but you need also the analog in case it doesn't work.
I agree.
So I'd love to have the Ring, the cameras, wire the house. So hey Alexa, do this. Hey so and so, do this. But they also eavesdrop. We did when I consulted for that nonprofit. That was around the time when one of the electronic devices, people were hacking into them and intercomming other people's homes. And then they were also Alexa had recorded, or Alexa devices, they were recording people. I'm sure they fixed it, but people were afraid of it. It was part urban myth, part real, but a lot of people, older adults, wanted it, but they were like, how can I prevent those things from recording me, or
your computer knows stuff. I don't remember looking anything up about it, but honest to God, after the last week or 2 shows, I get an advertisement while going on Yahoo or something like that, and it was stories or advertisement stuff about phlegm. Because in the morning, I've been going through this thing where I had shortness of breath. I have coughing up my green phlegm in the morning, and even almost dry heaving. And I don't recall ever.
I don't think you typed in phlegm.
Looking for decongestants, looking for any, and then, honest to God,
it hurt you.
There was a story, it was an advertorial thing about what to do, solutions for having phlegm. Now, it's possible my computer listens,
Yes. Ooh, what you doing? You got the phlegm today.
like my AI guy listens to this show.
Phlegm.
And enjoys, like, I'll bet you, well, on your phone you will, because you just did. But I wonder if now there's some Bunion
On my
things.
Google phone, I don't save my searches, so none of my searches come up. None of my past searches come up. Yeah.
So
You
that's,
can clear some of your stuff. Yeah.
well, no, I mean, it would be helpful to have a good decongestant that isn't steroidal or something.
See, I
but,
just get when I do Google searching all the trending terms. So what's trending now is like Mitch McConnell, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Royal Caribbean Cruise, man overboard. What?
Whoops. Okay.
What?
What happened?
Uh-oh.
Well, man went
19-year-old
overboard.
Texas man.
How old?
19 went overboard.
Yeah. Well, he sing too much at that?
No, if a guest does fall overboard, the cruise ship will stop and turn around.
Why turn around? Fish him out? What do you turn around?
One day ago, there's a hunt for the...
They didn't find him?
Is this a different one? This is a girl? This looks like a girl.
Well, these days, boys, girls, who knows, trans.
Oh no, she's talking, okay. It says passengers aboard the world's largest cruise ship have shared eerie footage showing the man the moment before they were informed someone went overboard.
Yeah.
They show a rescue ship bobbing around the dark waters. 230-ton cruise ship.
Did they
They
find?
searched for 3.5 hours.
Oh no.
The wonder of the seas was off the coast of Cuba.
Yeah.
And the person went overboard. It says passengers posting on the incident on Facebook said it happened around 7:30 or 8 at night.
So it's not a hoax. It's not like somebody.
No, video shared on TikTok captured the moment those overboard had been informed of the guy.
I mean, yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Being missing. In one video, a staff member could be heard saying, "We have reports of a man overboard. We have slowed the ship. We have turned around and we're heading back to the position we had at that time.
Oh, right. Yes, of course.
We will start the search and rescue operations. We'll do everything in our power to look for them."
Because one of the things the captain has is a manifest of every single human being on that ship, so they should already know who's not there.
Who's there? Yeah. Look, they showed this is the picture of the boat and that little thing is a rescue boat.
Let me show it to the people. Yeah.
You see the big boat? That's the boat, and then the little tiny thing is the rescue boat looking for.
Oh wow!
Looking for them, like.
That is a needle in a haystack, though.
But how do you, if somebody jumps in deep water? You need a.
I have no idea. I mean, there were.
Is it cold water? I don't know. Like, would you?
Any water in nighttime, even in Pacific. I mean.
I watched about all these free divers and the ones who die by free diving.
Yeah.
And it says on average 19 people go overboard. They search for the person.
Yeah.
Oh, so they don't have the Coast Guard involved because it happened outside of the jurisdiction.
Somebody's overboard. You get everybody. You get as many people as you can to help. Unless they didn't like the guy, in which case, good riddance.
I don't understand the. Looks like they have a picture of the person. He's a young kid. 19-year-old Texan. Let's see. I'll look. You do.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Anyway. So it is 10 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Time, here in the Daverhood. I'm Dave Lefkowitz. That is my marvelous wife, Joyce. These are my teeth. And by the way, if you missed it, remember that you can go to davesgoneby.com, roll back to about 20, 30 minutes into the show, and watch our brand new segment called Bunion Time.
Oh, Bunion Alert.
What? Oh, Bunion, you think Bunion Alert?
Yeah, I think Bunion
Alert. Or it was Bunion Watch.
Oh, Bunion.
It was called Bunion Watch.
It has more of it.
Which is like, if you took all the characters from Baywatch 35 years later, and you just put them up there, it's like, have them hobbling along the sand on their second hips. And it's like, oh, there's Pamela Anderson. She's just got like one giant wrinkle dragging along the sand. It's like, Bunion Watch. Be there. Anyway, this is our 909th episode of the Dave's Gone By show, which mixes, obviously, humor, talk, stupidity, insanity, and Melvin J. Mintz. Melvin G. Mintz, our lucky mascot man. His head is kind of cut off in our.
Oh, no.
We give him a little
He's very high up, yeah.
headroom. Yes, Melvin G. Mintz. What are we going to do on the rest of the program today? I don't know if we're going to go the whole 3 hours because just didn't have time to plan something. We don't have a guest or anything like that. Didn't have time to drum up a quiz. Plus, David Sheward's out, I think, with his family. And so we're just doing what we do. We have Greeley Crimes and Old Times coming up, or what we call now Greeley Times.
Yeah.
We do have StoryTime. Going to read a happy little book for Labor Day that we'll just kind of poke fun at and share with you. And then our Colorado Limerick of the Damned, where I'll read a poem I wrote, and it's actually a new poem, I just wrote it this past week, about a place in Colorado. And they're short 5-line poems, and because they're limericks, they're intentionally dirty, awful, disgusting, sick, and all that sort of wonderful thing. So that's why you are watching this program. So yeah, what else do we need to talk about before we get to Greeley Times? I think we're kind of thank you for reposting. Well, thank you also to the
yes, Madeline.
To the museum.
Okay, so I'll pull it on. Just don't show. I'll show you.
The Greeley Historical Society in Greeley, Colorado, where Joyce and I used to live. Please understand, when Joyce and I lived in Colorado, and I'll bring Potato back for this, one of the big events of the year there for me, very few other people cared about this.
Making it big so they don't see the comments. This is what Madeline said. She
Yeah.
said, "Is this David?"
She said, "Is this David?" So just so you know, in Greeley, Colorado, Potato Day, which is kind of their small mini state fair thing. They have the Stampede, which is their big state fair annually. But they also have this cute little thing that the Greeley Historical Museum Society does called Potato Day, where they take some acreage and they make it, what was life like in northern Colorado, back in the early 1800s. They're making soap, they're making furniture, they're making tortillas, what was life like, there's axe people grinding, and because potatoes were the crop before beets and before
there was the
JPS.
Potato Queen, and then her court, which was like the what do you call those things? The hash browns. There were
the tater tots.
Tater tots. There was ketchup and mustard.
Charlie Chives.
Yes, remember everybody would just go, and there was a whole group of people.
Like a mini children's parade,
yes.
where all the kids are wearing T-shirts that pun on things that go on potatoes, because they're celebrating that potato was the first crop there, even though it isn't really now. And that was basically meat and cheese processing. But so potato, and of course me being with potatoes, I would go to this in absolute awe. And they would give you also a free baked potato with fixings with your admission, right? So I'd go every year, and I would bring sometimes lots of these little fellas, and little children would be like, how much? The parent would be, how much? I'm like, no, I'm not selling them. These are my friends, my children. I'm just wearing them because it's Potato Day. Why aren't you wearing potatoes all around your head?
They didn't say come in costume. It wasn't.
No, it's not. No. But and there used to be a potato mascot and a really scary, creepy.
The children, and they put him up in like a attic window, which scared everyone because he looked creeps.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, but Joyce.
You don't have to use my name now because we had that conversation.
No, my wife. I don't remember if we were together, but we bought a potato costume.
I bought it for you online. It was a surprise.
Yeah, you got it for me online. And
then
one
I bought
year,
the hat and the ribbon, which you can't see.
Yeah. She got this for me. Not really just to wear on Potato Day, but just because it was a potato costume. But I'm like, I'm going to wear this year to Potato Day.
Yes.
And this is going to be like 2018.
And then we made the hat with the ribbon.
Yeah. And the official photographer for the event that year, he's going around snapping children, people playing games, having fun running around the field.
The beer garden,
right.
The animal petting zoo.
Yeah. And their official photographer caught me coming back from, or maybe they put it in my hand to a good sort of shot.
Yeah.
Posed me in
Because
potato
they don't
costume,
give that much fixin', that's what I think. We
Oh,
don't,
yeah.
the potatoes never have that much fixin' when you.
and they created this image, rather legendary image of me being the potato idiot of northern Colorado. So, okay. So I was very proud, I mean, remember, don't forget, we were also in the Greeley Tribune a year or two before that with a picture of you bedecking me with
And
potatoes.
it was during the Buffalo Soldiers, so there was
Yeah.
something about the Buffalo Soldiers that I was trying to like put potatoes on you.
Yeah, and then some guy from the Greeley Tribune took like a shot from below.
Of me like adorning you with the potatoes.
Yeah. So you were actually in the shop, which is, you must have been so proud going to work on Monday.
Yes, it gave me the will to live.
And I'm full of joy because there's potatoes like hanging from my hat.
We made it like
these guys.
we have like a.
But okay. And then the pandemic happened, and Joyce and I moved to New York, and we moved away from Colorado, and I have not been to Colorado since. You stayed a little bit longer, sold the house and stuff. And so it's been about 5 years now. Potato Day, it did not happen, of course, in the pandemic year. 1 year, I think it was rained out, but it's come back. They're still doing it. And this year's Potato Day, I think, is next Saturday.
The 9th, yeah.
Yeah. And when it comes up in events,
you can ask them if they could live stream it. Maybe you could,
oh,
ask somebody.
I was going to do that for the radio station. Remember?
Yeah, maybe there's some kind of, somebody like maybe you can ask anyone from the shul if they go and they have video. They could send you a video of it.
And I can share the feed here. Oh.
Or you could at least post a video. Yeah.
Like the Mexican dancing women. Remember them in the town square?
Or the
book sale.
Songs,
The what song?
Madrigal songs.
Yeah.
Buffalo Soldiers. Any of it.
But what the part that just intrigues me, and that my darling and adorable wife Joyce found so amazing, is that 5 years after they took this picture of me, on people's calendars
for NOCO style,
for Northern Colorado style, this is still the picture that comes up when you want to find out about Potato Day. Oh yeah, I lost it. So. But I mean, yeah, not last year's, not from 10 years ago. No, this guy.
We posted, I think, during the pandemic where they used it then, and they said like, "Come to Potato Day," and then underneath they had the same picture. It was like
canceled
due to COVID. So like, it was very.
So I became the mascot representing No Potato Day this year. And now Potatoes pays back.
Yes.
And the thing was, even though 1 year I actually was an official volunteer, I was actually helping out, spelling people when they had to take a break and people were coming to see their shops and their blacksmithy thing. But most times I was just there as a fan. Attendee, yeah. Joyce and I would come and pay first it was like $4, then it went up to $7, of course. And go and just wander around, and it would get hotter and hotter during the day until even like just an hour and a half later. It's like let's just get the potato and go. It's like noon, and the sun is just baking us as much as it is the potatoes. Let's just get our real actual edible potato and go. But it does amuse me.
Do you want to show people here in the magazine? I'll get you up to the 9th.
Oh yeah. But for those of you who are still living in Colorado or still getting Colorado news and feeds and things.
So you could just scroll down and show all of the stuff that's happening on the 9th.
In Colorado,
you'll see yourself when you scroll down.
So this is, by the way, there's also an advertising for the Rocky Mountain Chow Chow Club.
Yeah.
Why didn't you join the Rocky Mountain Chow Chow Club?
I think you have to have a chow dog.
Oh, is that what that is?
I think it's the chow dog,
So Saturday, September 9th, today.
A lot of stuff going on. No, not today.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll wait for that. The Black Squirrel Trail Half Marathon.
Ooh, nice.
The Autumn Gold Invitational. If I can hold it up close enough.
That's probably golf, right?
Oh, I betcha. Yeah. It's in Loveland. Okay.
What else?
Rocky Mountain Conservancy Half Day.
Ooh, nice.
Because, Conservancy is just so exhausting, they can't do a whole day of it.
Oh, of course not.
The King Street Market Craft Show. Larimer County's Farmers Market. Okay. Beauty and the Beast on the Streets.
Ooh.
Not sure I want to be seeing that after dark. Oh no, it went, no, there it goes. Vera's Vintage Market, the Clan Bell North America tent at Longe Peak Scottish Irish Highland Festival. the Gymkhana show at the Stable Foundation. I'm not making these up. This is so you keep scrolling. You do have to scroll down a lot. The Sugar Plum Bazaar. Scroll. Pumpkin Patch Make and Take Craft. The 1883 Waterworks Free Open House. I would like to see that. But in between, ladies and gentlemen, there it is.
Oh, what are you between?
I'm between like scary pumpkin heads. I'm not kidding you. And a waterworks, which is basically a toilet.
Click on yourself.
Okay. And we come back to this. But understand, this was not taken the year that I was officially volunteering for these guys. I was just there to enjoy in my own costume, and I became the unofficial celebratory mascot of Potato Day.
I don't know why they do this. They say, okay, join us for Potato Day. There's so much to see. Living museum, historical axe throwing, remember historical demonstration, Buffalo Soldiers, live entertainment, and a cakewalk. Every ticket includes the baked potato. Why do they do this with all the fixings? Why are fixings in the quotes?
Because they don't know English.
No, but what is that? Why?
It should be fixing, N apostrophe be fine. But there's a fix. No, it's fixings.
But why is it in quotes like?
Because there's no reason to put that.
Because maybe they're giving it's human or something.
No, they were decent with it. You had cheese. I think they had Bacon Bits. Do they have sliced bacon or little pieces?
We could share it on Twitter, but I'm not signed in. Oh no, Facebook.
Or X.
Facebook account here, Yeah.
And what else? They had chives, sour cream you could put, and I think they had cheddar cheese, salsa.
Oh yeah.
Those were among the fixings you could throw on your potato.
Look, the Irish one has no picture. See, you're like.
Yeah.
You're the jam, honey.
I should have gone to the Irish one in my potato costume and become the mascot for that. Because what says Irish more than potatoes? And drunk people throwing up on the streets on Sunday morning. But remember, we actually went to Ireland, and that is what we actually saw. Anyway, oh my God, it's almost 10:15 Eastern time in the Daverhood. I think since we're talking about Colorado, since we're talking about Potato Day next week in Greeley, Colorado, there is a segment that we do on pretty much every show that is based on articles that have been in the Greeley Tribune newspaper. Real newspaper comes out in hard copy still 4 times a week and then is online just like all other newspapers are all the time. But the Greeley Tribune has this marvelous column in it called Cop Log, Greeley Cop Log. And what that is when someone is wandering around the neighborhood in Greeley or Evans or that area.
I'm going to put your address in so you can keep up with all the NOCO happenings.
Oh, please do.
Because they should have sent that to you.
Yes.
I subscribed to you.
I should be getting royalties.
I subscribed to you, yeah.
Or at least the photographer for that photo should be getting royalties. But
it comes out of Loveland, NOCO News, so yeah.
Yeah, do they do Loveland? And of course they also do.
It comes out of Loveland. That's where it's generated from.
Fort. That's another place that usually falls into the catchment area of Greeley Cop Log. And so someone will be there and they'll be having a problem with a neighbor, or they'll see what they perceive as some crime or something strange going on the streets or in their backyards. And they will call the cops. They will call the police dispatch and say, send the police, this is happening, they're scaring me, this is weird, what's going on here? And a lot of these, some of these have to be taken seriously. They all have to be responded to. Really? It's like a tech office that has to clear its...
Yeah. It's a ticket.
But a lot of them are just like, okay, they're so ridiculous and so dumb that the cops, everybody thinks they're pretty phony. So it's public record. If you strip the information out, the newspaper has access to the cop log, to the phone calls that come into the police department. Police department shares them with the Greeley Tribune. Greeley Tribune publishes them, and they pick out Morgan McKenzie there, the funniest ones, and then I go through them and I share them with you in a segment that is called Greeley Crimes and old times. Yeah. Biggly dootin' dee dee. Yes, Greeley Crimes and Old Times every Saturday morning here on Dave's Gone By. So what it is, someone will call the police department or walk into the police department and ask for help or talk about something that has happened. For example, a caller on 16th Street. Oh, yeah, their phone reception is not so great here. Said that a patient came to the hospital with a throwing star.
Oh, that's like a
It's like a nunchuck thing.
Yeah.
It's like, first of all, how do they know what a throwing star was? And it's like, who is walking around with that? Who? Yeah, I can understand there are people who carry, certainly if somebody's got a pocket knife, somebody's even got a permit to carry a gun, somebody's got mace, maybe. Who's walking around with like a Jackie Chan, who's the other guy? The original Kung Fu movies. Who is it? Oh, the Bruce Lee, right? The Bruce Lee Kung Fu. No, some guy went to a hospital. It doesn't really say where the throwing star was, or if it was lodged anywhere.
Maybe in his fupa.
That could be it. Oh boy, do we have stories about that today? But that's in our Elsewhere's part of Greeley Times. A caller at apartments on 31st Street Road said that a shirtless, intoxicated man was stumbling down the hallway, knocking at the door, and trying to get inside. And I said, Dad, no, just...
that was the thing with, remember, Neil lived in the dorm, right?
Yeah, a friend of ours,
yeah. Too, yeah. And so Neil lived near the kitchen, like her room was right near the kitchen. We had single rooms, and there was a guy who always got drunk or high. Oh. And she would call me frantically because his room was near the kitchen, but on a different floor. And he would not remember, I guess, which floor was his floor because he was, out in an altered state. And so he would constantly try to get in Nihal's room. And she would call me, and I was like, because she had a mouse. Like, is it the mouse? No. And it was like the guy. And like, it would happen like a lot that he would try to like get in her room thinking it was his room.
Wow. Oh no, I guess if her door's locked, he can't.
I know, but still, it's just you can't sleep. It's like banging and trying to get in your room.
Oh my God.
I mean, you have to call the dorm people, and they'll come up and they can figure out what room he's in, and they can assist him in getting in the room.
Yeah, he's also causing a public disturbance on some level, so it could.
And the RA, we had RAs and stuff. Oh. The worst thing my RA told me, she said one time somebody was on something and they fell down. Like so it was Hunter, and we were right near like Bellevue, and the building was old, but it was nice. We had like concrete or like not marble, but pretty heavy stairways. Like the stairways weren't like padded or like rubberized,
Oh no!
And she
what
said
happened?
The worst thing happened was somebody fell down those stairs.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And I was like, yeesh, And I think she wanted to be like a nurse or doctor in sports, so she was used to like injuries. But that she said was the worst that she'd seen.
Yikes. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's funny. I was just thinking of that this week.
What?
The idea. I forget where I read something about that, or abusive people or something, where you kick someone down the stairs. Right? I was always wondering, how do you do that? I mean, I can't say you give a person one good kick,
and they go. That was the Kate Moss's testimony and the Amber.
Oh, from the Amber Heard, the kick.
About that. I think Amber Heard said that she had heard that Johnny Depp kicked what's-her-face Kate Moss, and she fell downstairs. Yeah,
but that was there's the Randy Newman line, got drunk last night, kicked Mama down the stairs, but I'm all right, so I don't care. But it was sort of like but it occurred to me, like, okay, you could land a kick and they fall and they go tumbling down, but the idea of kicking someone down the stairs must be so difficult. You kind of have to. They go halfway. I mean, you have to like hold the rail so you won't fall over.
Kick them and they roll down.
Yeah. I just think it must be like a big staircase. I was like, won't you just keep rolling? You have to go down, kick them again. Nudge them, give them a good kick if they're fat. It's like Anyway, a man on 37th Street reported that his ex-wife was selling his items on Facebook Marketplace, including his lawnmower.
Whoa.
That if he sold little, trinkets,
The lawnmower, that's divorce.
a ring she gave him or something, the lawnmower.
That's for divorce. Yeah. If you sell the lawnmower, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, she's really cutting him down the size with that one. Well, it's true. She just didn't want to see him no mo.
You know why she did it?
Why'd she do it?
The grass is always greener.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, this is what we do on the show. This is why you tuned in. A caller. And this is 6:15 in the morning. A caller on 10th Street called police to report that what went into the building.
Chipmunk.
Worse.
Squirrel, pig, cow, bull, a chicken, a deer.
On some level, worse than all of these.
Giraffe.
Small.
Raccoon.
Real close.
So I said squirrel. Raccoon.
Yeah.
Koala bear.
No. Wow, that'd be amazing.
Raccoon cat.
Looks like a cat. Don't want to make it.
Fox.
Looks more like a cat than a fox. Although the tail.
Bobcat. Oh, skunk.
Skunk. A skunk went into the building. That would not be.
I wouldn't want to clean that building.
You wouldn't want to, that's like being in the laundry room and then start doing it. It's like something like, how are my clothes smell worse than when I put them in? Yeah. But do you call the cops? I don't think cops are skunk trappers. But maybe they know who to call or to tell her. Now, a woman on 3rd Street said that a man broke into her apartment and stole her new sweater. Wow. Turned out the guy was Edward D. Wood, but it was.
Why would you do that? That's so rude.
Of all the, why? Unless it was Bill Cosby.
I think sometimes you feel like you lose something. Like you misplace something and you feel it's stolen. Like when I misplaced my phone. Like it's a natural instinct, but it might be like like a maintenance guy came in and the sweater was there, but she might have put it in laundry or she might have,
Well, so you don't think it was actually some weirdo?
I hope not. I don't know why someone would come in and just steal a sweater. Like
on one sweater, not like go through her.
Yeah. Like even if they're taking a sweater, they take something else.
Yeah, the vest that goes with it, or the. Yeah. I just hope that they solve this case before the whole sweater thing unravels. Will the police find? Yes, they will. And then whoever did this, they'll cashmere his name all over the. That's a signal, I think, that we need to go to elsewhere. We need to have a story or two, not from Greeley, Colorado. Unfortunately, we don't have any old times.
About the car.
Oh, did I? First one.
Let me get a picture.
Oh, because you do need the visual on this. I don't know if you saw this. This is in Joyce and I were in Norfolk, Virginia a couple of weeks ago. This is coming from a place called Norfolk, Nebraska.
The lookup thing is it's called something riding shotgun. That's the.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was. And those dummies on the TV news mispronounced it. It was a. Yeah. Here we go. Police in Norfolk, Nebraska, pulled over a driver with go police, yeah, with an unusual passenger, a full-size Watusi bull named Howdy Doody. This is absolutely real, ladies and gentlemen. The guy tricked out like basically a glorified SUV. He took the door off. Well, I'll read more of the story, but this happened. This guy was driving down the streets and highways of the town with an enormous enormous full-size bull. There's probably some volume on this, but see if we can kill the volume before it plays.
It's a roller coaster.
No, be quiet,
minimum
please.
Wage. Really tough.
Stop this. Thank you. And now I'm going to skip the ad so that you can see the magnificence of this. The guy the guy figured out his truck. It's alive, folks. It's not even a skin. That's an actual real Watusi bull poking out of the passenger side of the vehicle.
Oh,
It's quite
I
wonderful.
don't know how he walks with the horns like that. Like, how do you balance your head?
Oh, well, he's a rather big beast. I mean, however
Did
big
they
is.
show him moving? Did you see?
Yes,
him?
I show.
Whoa, I didn't see that.
It's very funny, even from the back.
Look at him turn. I didn't see him move, and that's crazy.
It's fantastic. A bull, and it's a Watusi bull. I never even heard of such a thing. Named Howdy Doody, said Captain Chad Ryman of the Norfolk Police, quote, well, you always know when they start with well. The officers received a call about a car.
You want the video?
Driving into town. Another video? Yeah, sure. With a car driving that had a cow in it. So they thought it was going to be like a calf, right? Something that actually fit inside the vehicle. As a result, more of the quote here, the officer performed a traffic stop and addressed some traffic violations that were occurring with that particular situation. So technically, here's the deal. The vehicle was big enough because the guy took this regular, I guess, SUV-ish truck, removed the door, had extra room, had stuff out the window side,
So here,
and a big back for the bull to stay.
Just hold it. Don't
Yeah,
move
okay.
it at all because it will mess up. But just you watch the.
There he is.
He's driving the bull. There's the bull coming down the highway. Look at the back for the poopies.
Oh yeah,
Look,
yeah.
see the poopies?
Hold on, they may get to that shot. Hold on. So that's the other horror of it. Like while the car is driving down the highway, oh, see the brown?
Yeah, that's poopies.
The bull is of course shitting, and the wind is carrying it along the side of the car.
Also peeing.
Look at it! Look at it! There it
Yeah,
is.
I mean, he's also probably peeing.
Yeah, yeah. Beautiful, just beautiful. The
And I
things
think the
people
car
do.
used to be a police car too.
Mm.
It looks like it.
And ridiculous, of course, as it sounds, you know, if you live in places like Colorado or Nebraska, you constantly see these big things with horses in them, but they're almost like prison
They're normal.
vehicles because they're inside. Then there's windows, there's bars. You can't even really see the horses in them. You can kind of sometimes see an eye or part of a horse's head or something, and you know they're being transported to wherever. But in this particular case, I don't think the guy wanted to deal with that. He didn't want to get a giant, bull trailer or whatever they make. He's just like, he can fit in my car. I wonder if it's sort of like this thing where he had no idea when he first got it. Like, you go to a shelter for a dog.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. I mean.
No, but you figure you're going to get this mutt. And they say, yeah, it's going to be a medium-sized thing. It'll probably weigh somewhere between 20 and 30 pounds. And then 8 months later, it's 140 pounds and still growing. I wonder if he said, he bought this from some other farmer or found it somewhere. And so, yeah, it's going to be a cute little, like, bull calf thing.
Oh, yeah, and it just got bigger and bigger.
Yeah, you can actually take it home in your car. It'll fit. And then, 6 months later, it's this massive Watusi bull. But I also love the fact that we're in end times in terms of journalism, where the local TV station was covering this, and they had the jolly laughing anchors of like any story that had the opportunity for them to be really convivial and funny with each other. And meanwhile, they called it a Watsui bull. Like nobody did the homework there to kind of say, no, it's like that dance, or I guess an African tribe. It's a Watusi bull. You're delivering the news. Kindly Can you get that? Because two different people. It wasn't just the anchor person. It was the anchor person and the person
Yes.
reporting the story.
And there was a cop too. The cop was featured in all the
Yeah, but I don't think he said what. He didn't know what kind of bull. It was a bull.
They don't know what it is.
Yeah, it was an animal, big animal, small car. And the
Why
thing.
is JFK the cop?
Yeah, that's more of a Melvin G. Mintz accent, I think.
Oh, okay.
By the way, but the guy didn't even have like a citation or a fine or anything. He was just warned. And the cop said, like they used to do with the out of towners, is like just turn around, go home.
No, but
Don't
you
come
can't
back.
you're not supposed to bring, you're not.
Well, yeah, you're not supposed to
Yeah.
have something that's so ridiculously distracting on the highway.
Yeah.
But he wasn't actually breaking any laws, which is
I
the
don't
beautiful
know.
part.
I think you have to have animals in containers. Like you can't go riding with chickens in your backseat flapping around and
True.
I think like with the horses and all the animals, even the ones that are used for meat, they have to be like enclosed, like a horse trailer. Horse trailers have windows where the horses can see out,
Right.
but the
Trailer
top
ones,
is covered and
yeah.
the sides are covered.
Right.
And they're shitting, but it goes down in the horse trailer, and hey, it's not going on the highway.
One hopes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, yes. I just
What's the man's name? I want to look it up.
It's funny. I have the captain's name,
I'm gonna
Chad
do owner.
Ryman, but
Owner
of the Watusi Bull.
of Howdy Doody.
Yes. And it's not Clarabelle.
Well, Doody makes sense.
Doogie always makes sense when you need it.
Well, he was doing it. Lee Meyer.
Lee Meyer. Okay.
It says the bull named Howdy Doody is owned by Lee Meyer, a resident of I can't say, in some town in Nebraska.
Oh, so he's a local.
it
He is a
says-
local.
Oh yeah, it says it's not the first time they went viral. Early in 2019, they made headlines when they drove through a parade in Antelope County. So.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah.
So he was already enormous back then.
How much do you think he weighs?
This Lee Meyer,
Howdy Doody.
probably about
No,
100.
Howdy Doody.
Oh, howdy doody. He probably weighs 1,400 pounds.
2,200.
Wow. He literally weighs a ton and then some.
I want to know, like, if they did it before.
Well, I think in a parade he was probably like, hey, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Let's display this thing, And it's like, am I going to get paid for this? And I'm like, no. And I said, well, that's a lot of bull. I said, yes, it is. Yeah, it's a little bull
Maybe
joke.
because they like the name that it's Howdy Doody. You think he did it to get the Watusi bull in car?
Well, I mean, his animal is now viral. It is now famous.
Yeah.
If he ever wants to sell, and it's a beautiful animal.
Yeah.
If he ever wants to say, it's not just a 2,200 pound Watusi bull. It's now the.
It says meet Howdy Doody, the Nebraska Watusi bull who loves riding in his owner's car. Maybe he likes it.
Man, why wouldn't he? Think of the horses in their little pens, the trailers you were talking about.
Yeah.
And now think of them, think of a dog that's going down the highway, the ears flapping.
Somebody put looks okay to me.
Yeah. Bull must love it. It's almost like being as close to being out in the open while being driven, and the hair in his horn,
But what happens if you wanted to get out or something,
Well, one hopes. Was there a seatbelt?
Somebody said, I don't think a guy driving with a full-grown, they don't think it's good. Someone's like, that's not good.
Well, you know what? If there's a situation, if somebody tries to cut in front of him,
Yeah.
all Meyer has to do is use the horn.
So somebody put the caption, officers take no bull from a driver.
Of course. Oh, yeah.
What was that?
And God forbid, Lee Meyer and this animal are in a.
New York Post and 21 put a cow in a car.
Wow. I gotta show this, but heaven forbid that Lee Meyer and this animal are in a terrible, terrible fiery crash.
Or accident, yeah.
Yeah. That's steak for a week for the entire neighborhood. But this is so cute. Oh, look! See this. If he had been this size.
Yeah, that's what the police said, or the report said. They expected to see a calf in like like a calf or something.
That's really cute.
But that's going through a drive-through at McDonald's. What's that story?
Well, that's cruel.
Yeah,
That's the owner of this animal going, behave.
Yes, you could be next, buddy.
Yeah. You remember your cousin Myrtle?
Oh, God.
They call her Mick Myrtle now. Yeah. With cheese. A Wisconsin woman got a taste of mystery meat at McDonald's. This was years ago.
Okay.
No, well, 2 years, 2021.
Yeah.
In the form of a live cow stuffed in the backseat of a Buick.
You need a roomy car.
Jessica Nelson feasted her eyes on the bulging bovine in another car in the drive-thru lane and instantly hit record. Thank God she did. Aren't we so lucky?
Yeah,
No, I don't want the New York Post app. Thank you. I thought it was fake at first. Who puts a cow in a Buick?
Isn't that the title of Charlie's play?
Who put? Yes.
The cow in the Buick. Yeah.
Then its whole head moved. I just took the video of it because I was blown away. There was a cow in the back of a Buick. It was posted Sunday by Fox News, of course. And it shows the gray Buick waiting in line to get the fast food chain's drive-thru window when the calf, is caught rearing its head out of the back seat. Says, and Jessica, she can't get over it. This is a quote. There's a whole ass cow at the back of that car. 3 exclamation points.
Yeah,
There's a whole ass cow.
David, you don't expect it.
Yeah, but this is so incredibly cute, though. I mean, this.
Why was the cow in there? Do we know? Or that's the story?
And maybe, I wonder if there's more. I don't know if they ever found
Probably.
the driver.
I hope not. Is it illegal to have a cow in your car?
Oh, she said the cow's owners saw her video on social media.
Yeah.
They reached out to her to explain the livestock sighting. They told her they had just purchased the animal and 2 others who were also crammed into the back seat.
How do you get 3 cows in a Buick? Is it a calf? Maybe they're calves. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a
They
cute
found
little.
3 calves in the
And they just bought, at auction, and they decided to grab a burger on the way home. But if you're going to auction and buy 3 cows, don't you like a U-Haul?
Yeah,
or...
rent like a cow haul, or maybe it's a spontaneous purchase. Like, I'll get some cows.
Well, you know what they call that?
What?
A meat up.
Oh Lord.
Because there's so much at stake. At least she didn't have a beef with them. I'm sorry. I'm ribbing her mercilessly. Oh, thank you. Thank you for this.
I didn't know there would be so much.
Yeah, how would you?
I'm gonna Google animals in cars and let's see what we have.
Oh, let's see if there's anything else that's really untoward.
So animals in cars. Is that a bear?
Well, no, I would not. No, I would not drive a car with a bear in it. Well, you must figure there are bear trainers, bear wranglers. They gotta, but again, they have a trailer hitch or something.
Bears in cars. Oh my God.
Large hairy men in Greenwich
No,
Village.
the bear
No.
just opened the door and brought our cubs inside.
Oh, that's an issue.
They're eating. We want to see that.
No, that's not. I'm gonna stay on the cute side of things, like some weird, kind of, panda bear. Okay, panda maybe, right? Or anyway, we're doing really crimes in old times. That was an elsewhere from Nebraska about the cow. Now, what were we talking about earlier in the program? I've already forgotten. But there was something involving the tushy. Something around being we always talk something involving the tushy.
We never were talking about tushy today.
Yeah, in the butt or something going in the. Well.
I don't think we were talking about tushy at all, honey.
Not at all. Okay.
No.
Well, this is from St. Louis, Missouri,
Yeah.
about less than a week ago.
Uh-huh.
Chess is the word. Have you heard? Is the word. Have you heard? So chess doesn't often ever make the news. It doesn't really go viral in any sort of way since the Bobby Fischer Boris Spassky competition of 1976 or whenever it was, and a little bit of Karpov and Kasparov as a tail end of it. So, what do you hear about? You don't know who all the great grandmasters are dead. Now there's a bunch of young kids, whatever. But okay, last year
Yeah.
19-year-old Hans Niemann defeated 31-year-old Norwegian Grandmaster Magnus Carlsen in a tournament chess match near St. Louis.
Okay.
This upset was so unlikely, it led to calls by Carlsen, the Grandmaster, and other chess grandmasters that Niemann had cheated. How do you cheat at chess?
I don't know.
How can you possibly?
I have no idea. I don't know how to play it.
Well, chess.com, which sponsored the event, they did a private investigation and they suspended Niemann's account just while they did. While they were looking into it, he couldn't play for them. That allegations of cheating. A spokesperson, however, had some saying. It was cleared up this week. They said both sides have negotiated privately in good faith to resolve their issues without further litigation.
Could you kick me the phone charger? I need my phone.
Oh, yikes. All right, hold on.
That cord right there.
I don't know if it'll reach it out.
Yeah,
Let's see.
it will.
Hold on, it's tangled.
No, it's fine.
Let me
It's
do
fine.
this for the
It's fine.
camera.
No, leave it. It's fine.
All right, fine.
Thank you.
Owing to lack of evidence, Niemann has been fully reinstated.
But what was the accusation?
Oh,
How
that-
he was cheating?
I'm
Oh,
saving. I'm
oh,
getting there.
Oh,
I
God.
promise you. Even though Niemann, here's the deal. He has admitted to cheating in previous online tournaments.
Oh, it's online.
Well, I think
So
I don't know if this one was,
maybe
but yeah.
he's Googling, like, what's the next step, or how do you...
Well, I mean, it's visual. It's not just like, they can see each other.
No, but you could Google or put on your phone, like, where do I move the
Right,
queen?
well, I think they have things in place against that.
Okay.
Or they can check if, like, you have back in the Soviet day, did
Yeah, an earpiece.
carve out a tiny little earpiece in the ear? Okay,
Yeah.
so lack of evidence, couldn't find anything. But Niemann had been accused of cheating before, and he admitted to it.
Okay.
But this time, and this was more of a Reddit fan thing, but it went viral of this idea.
People are,
One of the accusations against him that this 19-year-old cheated by using a sex toy.
What?
I just love it.
How is he cheating?
Yeah, that's the headline on all these stories, by the way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the article that I read does not go into much detail,
Thank
but
goodness, yeah.
readers wrote in to explain that assuming he did this, he would have an anal toy
Yeah.
inserted
Yeah.
in his butt,
Yes, tushy.
and he would have a helper with a wireless remote.
Yeah.
So then, as his hand moves over the piece,
Yeah.
the helper would zap like, no, not that one.
Oh, like is that
Like, zzz,
bad?
Zip it.
Why didn't they check his tushy?
Who would? Why would?
But maybe they have to do tushy checks now.
Maybe they do. No, as a matter of fact, he volunteered to be wanded against him. I'm not kidding. I am not
Well,
kidding.
then he should have been wanded.
Also note that the anal, but here's the deal. This was not part of the lawsuit going back and forth between Magnus, between the grandma. This was already something, once this was coming out, that he was accused of cheating and that he was doing a countersuit of defamation.
Yeah, but it's because if it's not true, saying someone's cheating by vibrating thing in their tushy is not nice.
Yeah. It turns out the anal beads idea was just something floating on Reddit that went viral.
Oh, that's bad though.
And if Niemann did figure out a way to cheat, it is likely not that. So.
You know who's going to sponsor his chess playing now?
Who?
Company, one of the companies that do.
Yeah, Adam and Eve or something like that.
Yeah.
But wouldn't it be cool, I thought, if A, it were true, it wouldn't be true because then he'd be a cheater, or B, if now he started getting nicknames like Bobby Flusher, Anatoly Krapov, Wilhelm Steinschitz, and of course Gary Askarov.
But people who live in glass houses.
What do I put up my butt?
Shortser.
Oh, yes. You want to mention this? I sharted yesterday. Yeah, it is true. It is true. Well, you know, I'm 59 years old. I was in the room with Joyce, finishing a meal or something like that. And I had that moment, and you've all had this, where, oh, I break wind, I fart, and when you only know once you've done it, that you've done it, and you realize, oh, and I just checked, there were not new, but there were a fresh pair of underpants.
Yeah, that's what probably lured it out.
Freshly laundered underpants.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and you have this sensation of like, oh, it wasn't just air. Oh, this was not dry. And immediately, took off, and I did that beautiful thing of sharding. If you want to see something beautiful, do you have where's your phone? Oh, just look up the phrase Elmo Shark Party.
What? Okay.
It is one of the beautiful things ever.
Elmo?
Mm-hmm.
Elmo Shark Party? It's Shark Party.
It
Let's see.
should bring a mock children's book cover.
I get, look what I get.
Oh, it's just, and you have the words because it's, oh.
Let's see. Elmo Shark's Poop Party.
You can also Google this at home, folks, because it's a beautiful thing.
SHART
T.
Sharks video.
It's not a video. It's an image. It's just a mock children's book featuring beloved Elmo from Sesame Street.
Oh, here.
Is it? Yeah. Whoever did this was so brilliant.
Is it this here?
No. It's if you go looking for it, try and find it, because it has exactly the visual imagery of like those little golden books and the Sesame Street books that you get for children, and it's just Elmo in this wonderful like pose. Well, this was a couple of years ago, so maybe it's kind of gone out of the vernacular. I probably showed it on camera back when it first came up because it was just hysterical. But anyway, old Dave, I joined the Sharks Brigade yesterday. Very, very, I can't say I'm proud of it, but, sometimes.
There's no image of Elmo sharding.
No! Oh, this is sad. It's a, man,
Oh, yeah, here we go. Is it the,
that's it.
I found it, yeah.
That's why I wanted to share this. This is just the greatest thing ever. And when you first see it, it looks incredibly real.
It looks really happy.
And then you start to notice the game is closed. And then and the third thing you notice finally is the stain on his shorts.
Oh, I didn't see that. Let me see.
See, you don't even notice that, and then it's like,
Oh.
yeah, wasn't that worth sharing?
Look at somebody else.
I will not share my underpants. You do not want to see that. Wait, I can't. Oh. Oh, hours of fun, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, look at this here.
Oh, show me. Can I show? Again, you see the title,
Yes.
and then you see the eyes on bird. I haven't seen this before.
Yeah. There's another one too. Let me find it.
Oh, these are great. These are hysterical. Oh. Oh my God. Oh, God bless the brilliant people who do these kinds of things. These are what make life worth living. These meme things. Yeah.
Do you want things that don't go up your tushy, or do you want we think you're a twat waffle?
Which do you think is
This I think is appropriate.
the twat waffle thing, or the let's see, or these are things. that you shouldn't, I can't say the word,
Put up
but,
your-
things that you shouldn't put up your ass.
Maybe that's good for the chest.
Oh, well, it went back to Google. Oh, sorry.
Okay, I'll
But I
take
think you saw it momentarily.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was like
quite
that
beautiful.
that was thing like maybe that's what the
Oh, God.
maybe that's what the guy needs to know. David, I think I'm gonna make tea.
Yeah, go for it.
I need
Go.
to look at
Well, you know what? Hang for like another minute or two. I'll finish up Greeley Crimes and Old Times. Then I'll do story time.
Okay.
And then we'll do Friends of the Daverhood, our Colorado Limerick, and we will table our Labor Day show. We're actually calling it Labor Days, because I'm dazed and confused, ladies and gentlemen, here on Dave's Gone By. So we did elsewhere. Let's go back and do one or two more crimes of Greeley Crimes and Old Times. So, a man on 15th Avenue said that his neighbor purposely put a trash can in front of his truck. And the neighbor told him if it was moved, he would call the cops.
Whoa. So, this is what people used to do in New York. This is like
Yeah.
I've seen this. People get like those Virginia traffic cones and they put it in a parking spot. And you're not supposed to. So sometimes like what people do is like in areas where parking is a premium or
Yeah.
very difficult,
Sure.
or like sometimes there's no assigned parking, but like you might need to park close. People use garbage cans or those like parade barricades, or they use construction.
Yeah.
It's like a placeholder.
Smart,
It's
yeah.
like a placeholder. But if you're not
Not
supposed
legal,
to do
but
it,
smart, yeah.
But,
Yeah.
you know,
So I realized, okay, that's why he's doing it.
the
He's
best
like, I want to
yeah,
park
the
here.
best use of it I've seen is if people park in your driveway. Like sometimes when people do, like even the dentist when we were by your mom, they would put like a barricade and say, "Do not park." So sometimes you do that because you're not supposed to block a driveway, but it's a.
But I do think that's kind of also a pain for like the person who put the garbage can out there, because he's got to, wherever he's coming home from,
Yeah, he's got.
he's like, park.
Yeah.
The person's got to park the car somewhere to get out of the car, to move the garbage can, get back in the car, and he's already gotten the parking ticket because he got to park to park the car. He's like,
That's
But-
true.
Anyway, a caller near Highway 34.
Whoa.
Highway 34 goes right by my baby's door. Said that a man was urinating and fully exposing himself
Whoa.
inside the walking tunnel.
Oh, that's like maybe you thought it was a potty.
Yeah, or just as a private or
Yeah,
more
to
private,
make
privater
wee-wee.
place.
To make wee wee.
Yeah. And honestly, let's face it, if the guy's urinating, he's fully exposing himself. He's not doing that and.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
if a guy has to, a woman, you kind
No,
of.
I believe it was the chess player. He was,
Oh, maybe he's trying to expel.
adjusting his object. His arm.
Oh, all right. Meanwhile, 15 minutes later, a caller. Well, okay, that was your. A caller near Highway 34.
Oh no.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry.
Caller near Highway 34 said he was urinating and people were
Yeah.
taking photos.
So that was it. First, someone called
Yeah.
to say that he was flashing his genitals in traffic,
Oh God.
and then someone said walking. He went into the tunnel and peed. So
They thought he
maybe
was
I
a
got peed.
flasher, but he was making wee wee.
Yeah, but the calls were a day apart.
Wow.
So there was a guy at 10 a.m.
Maybe he has prostate trouble. Like he can't, he needs to wee wee, but he can't
Yeah.
produce the wee.
So one day he's
Yeah.
flashing his stuff, and then the next day he's in the
Yeah.
tunnel peeing. I wonder what he did the day after that.
I think he helped his chest friend.
Oh, maybe.
I got plans for you, friend.
At least there was a sign in the tunnel, slippery when wet. So. And finally, a caller on 20th Street said that someone kept writing the number 68 on the rear window of the caller's vehicle.
68.
I'm writing it, I don't know, in the dust or something.
Maybe they did, that was, what's the sixth letter? A, B, C, D, E, F,
F-I,
G,
Phi,
H, I,
or
Phi.
Phi.
No, maybe they were Marine. Semper,
Oh, Semper Fi.
yeah.
Could be. All I know
Or
is,
maybe they were like, hey, that's your age, or call me, or,
yeah. I mean, it'd be a lot more fun instead of having 68 on your window, being in the backseat doing 69. And that, my friends, is Greeley Times for this Saturday, September 2nd, 2023, here on Dave's Gone By.
Mr. Horace Greeley was no fool.
Oh, no.
I'm sure that you'll agree with me that Greeley was no fool.
What he is getting at is that Mr. Greeley was no fool.
Yippee-yi!
Yippee-yi, 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 yi-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi, yippee-yi.
So yeah, we're just a couple of minutes from the 11 o'clock hour here live on this Saturday, September 2nd, 2023 with the 909th episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebookio, Podcastio, Programmio of the Stream, featuring me, Dave Lefkowitz, my amazing wife, Joyce, all our friends, our beautiful chicken, our potato. Is Pooey here? We had teeth. Is Pooey around? Ah, he is. So That's not nice. Anyway, hello, Pooey. How are you doing? Oh, I love that chess story. I'm sure you did. And we still have Friends of the Daverhood to do. We still have our Colorado Limerick of the Damned. But I thought we would take just a couple of minutes out to do a segment that started back when we were in Colorado, and I found a children's book, pre-young adult, still a children's book, in a gas station, a service station, all about a boy trying to buy a cow for his family. And we ended up reading the book cover to cover, week after week. It took a few weeks to do it, like a chapter every week. Just for the joy of reading to and also making fun of things when I could. And since then, we've done more books, generally short children's books. And why not do one today? The one we're going to do today is a book called Dig It. Dig It. And it's a really thin, slim children's volume. It's one of those where, it's hard cardboard in case the kids want to chew on it. So we're going to read Dig It for our story time today on Dave's Gone By.
Tell me a story, tell me a story, tell me a story. Remember what you said. You promised me, you said you would. You gotta give in, so I'll be good. Tell me a story, then I'll go to bed.
Tell me a story I think that's a Teresa Brewer song there. We will be telling the story of Dig It. That's the second Beatles reference of the day. Here we go. Featuring, yes, hard labor, union crew perhaps. It's a leapfrog book from Junior Tag Books. And by the way, this is about the short I, the I sound that we're trying to get kids to use. Because otherwise, it wouldn't be a good thing. All right. First I saw this, I was like, what is this, a book about AI? Because last week we read the science book. Last week we read Physics for Babies, or a Nuclear Physics for Babies. And, I literally, if you were watching the show, you saw that halfway through the book, I couldn't understand what they were talking about. A book where science was dumbed down so much for infants. And I was still I was getting it right up until now. And now I have no idea what the hell they're doing. So let's see. This is really confusing because it's not even a sentence, right? I thought, what does this have to do with AI? And then I realized, no, the guy's name is Al. You can call him Al. And here's his little scooper truck. Hello, Al. Oh, and there's it's about the short I. Let's see what Al is up to. Oh, I don't know if you knew this, but Al can dig. Look at him go. He's not really doing, it's going into the earth there. And then here comes the boss, fat, wealthy capitalist boss. And Al, and him telling, dig, Al, dig. so I can finally make enough money to have implants and get real regular teeth. All right. This is like something out of Scorsese now. It's like, dig a pit. First you're going in it, then your family, then your family's family. Like, so Al did. Look at him, he's got the grief marks. He's really working it. He's got that spade going. And of course, the boss is just like, well, I'm the boss and I get to tell you what to do and make middle management money. And, you're illegal, you're undocumented, so just dig. And Al did. What happens next? And then the a-hole boss is like, dig it big, because we have shareholders. Don't just, and Al is he's pretty okay with it. Al is just like, yeah, okay, you're paying my paychecks, it's fine. And then Al gets an idea. Al will dig it big. So he's thinking, aha, I'm gonna get one of these things. Because, Al can rather easily pony up the bucks to buy an $80,000 piece of equipment like that. And now, so we're not sure, we assume the fat guy is Al's boss, but now we're not so sure. Now it gets weird. So Og, turns out Al's friend or boss is named Og. Og hid in the pit. Notice the short I sound, the accents there. Here we go. Look at him. Og is going to go just jumping into the pit to kind of see what death would feel like early on in his life. Now Al has to dig. Al will dig it big. So you've got a boss gently hiding in the pit, and now only tragedy can come out of this because Al gets the machine, the big giant scooper, and he's got to start digging it out, not realizing that when his scooper goes down into the earth, it's basically going to decapitate Og, who, by the way, kind of deserves it because he forced Al to just dig without even helping or anything. What is wrong with the people who came up with this book? And then, so we've been building up to this, right? Over 7, 8, 9 glorious pages of Dig It. And we've seen that there's some kind of logic here. There's some kind of story. Like, let me summarize. Let me recap in case you weren't paying attention over the past 5 minutes. Al has a spade. He's told by Og to dig a hole, to dig a big pit. So Al does. And he's schwitzing and he's sweating. And then Og is like, oh, bigger. So Al's like, F this. I'm going to get a machine to do it. Meanwhile, he goes off to get a machine. And Og is like, I'm going to jump in the pit to hide. Shh, don't tell Al. Al comes back with a machine that is now going to dig the pit big. And I swear to you, this is the last page of the book. Wait, it got stuck. Oh, there it is. Okay. Al digs Og. What the fuck? What is this? What does this even mean? So he kind of popped up from the earth, but it was a pit, so why is he covered with earth? Or did he scoop up all this dirt? Og was in it, and then deposit Og back in the... How does this follow? This doesn't track. What is it with children's books now that they just don't make any sense? Like, you're following along, there's some kind of story, and they're goofy and they're cute and they're kooky. And then it's like, okay, he digs a pit, he hides in the pit, and then suddenly here he is in a mound by the... Were pages torn out of this? Was there a whole section where they go to Europe and have some adventures there and meet some girls and have a gambling issue, and then they come back and finish them? No, yeah, it's just like he goes from getting the machine, Og jumping in the pit, to Og in front of the machine, which, by the way, has no there's no discernible dirt on here, so we can't really tell if that just came off of there or if it's about to come out and then he popped it. This disturbs me. I do not dig this book about Al digs Og, dig it. And by the way, here's a real actual Sesame Street, but this Panda Bear thing is freaking me out. What is the name of that book? It's Panda Bear, what is it? I can't even read it. Make it really, really big. Panda Bear, what do you see? Oh, okay, thank you. I just wanted to know that. So this is connecting with your child's learning, explore preschool skills in every book. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, you can connect this book to your computer to download the audio and learning activities. So this book has learning activities. You know what I learned? Write better books. See what your child is learning through the Leapfrog learning path and get ideas and printables to expand the learning. Ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you know this, but Al digs Og.
Oh, are they a couple?
I don't know what's going on with them. All I know is that this is the last page of the book, and there's all sorts of wrong going on.
Why is he digging him in a hole? That's not nice.
Yeah, it's just like.
Is he killing him?
We don't know. Turns out this book was actually written by Martin Scorsese and Brian De Palma. So
it seems like a Twin Peaks episode,
yeah. Yeah. That was Dig It here on Dave's Gone By as part of our wonderful recurring segment, StoryTime. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was the end of the Tell Me the Story. That was the theme music. We do have to come up now with theme music for Bunion Watch.
It should be like Bunion, watch.
Yeah, because I don't know if I can even think of a song where bunions are mentioned.
I would take the Public Enemy.
Is that like news music or yeah?
Hold on. It's Public Enemy. Like almost the Welcome to the Terror Dome or one of the,
Yeah. Is it? But which? Do you know if it's that song or?
It has to be the lead-in.
Oh well, yeah.
Dun, dun, dun. Maybe it's Fight the Power. Fight the Power.
But yeah, fight the bunions that swell. Ooh. I don't know. I've got to think about it. And then, by the way, you guys are welcome to suggest too.
Are there any songs about feet?
That's what I'm thinking about. Like,
Her feet's too big.
I know. It will only it's probably copyright, so I can probably barely play it. But
do it now. Just sing it. Don't play it.
It is, of course, the classic Shags number. My pal's name is Foot. Yes, my pal's name is Foot. He
That's
always
great.
Yeah, and then while we're playing it,
and then you could, your pal is Foot.
my pal is Foot. I've got. We can try the circle thing on my foot. The other cuggable bunion pad. We could put calmaceptin on. We can do. I can put mayonnaise on my feet, and all sorts of interesting.
Your toenails.
Oh yeah, we can start collecting our toenails, and you can winners of our contest.
I'll paint them.
You'll no, we're not gonna.
I'll paint them.
I will not be doing toenail
Okay,
painting
toenails.
during my lifetime. That will not be happening.
I'm painting your toenails.
No.
Yes, I am.
So
I'm doing it when you're sleeping.
that be the smell would wake me up though, because it has that acrylic-y kind of.
There's no acrylic in the stuff I use.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So I'm gonna wake up. What color are you gonna do my toes?
Purple.
Purple.
What color would you like? What's your
I don't want any color than my toes.
Brown, like caca color. That's your favorite color.
Yeah.
Caca.
Brown would just make them look like they're crusty and horrible, which is what they'd be anyway. So that would make, or black. Like wake me up like when I have to say, Dave, I think you have gangrene. What are you talking about? Ah! And you take like makeup and you put red.
I'll get those Lee press-on nails and I'll put them on your feet.
That'd be like ah.
I wonder if they have press-on toenails. That could be a marketing item.
Yeah.
You know.
Except the only problem is it's the last thing people want to put on before they go out because they got to put them in a sock and a shoe or a stocking or a.
Well, it's only for when you wear open toe shoes.
Yeah. Wow. Lee press on to. You know what? I'm
looking it
looking up. Just make sure that it doesn't exist already. That we haven't missed out on a marketing idea.
Lee press on toenails. Press on toenails. Yes, press on go pedicure.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Oh, look at that. Wow. They have all these different colors, so you could pick the color you want.
Oh, I love these. Look, I'm looking at all these toe things. I guess I'm a pedophile. Ah! Well, I really nailed that one. Ah! Oh, don't look so defeated. Yeah, okay. Anyway, Lee press on Peggy, well, not Lee. Add favor matte press toenails. I wonder if they have shiny. What do we call it? Have mirrors on your toenails?
No. You look up your skirt.
Oh, wouldn't it be cool to have mirrors on your toenails?
No.
Wow.
I wonder how much they are. I wonder, I'm going to look at the reviews of this.
Yeah.
They call it fake toenails. Thank you. Like, really? Oh, wow. That's amazing. They have 4 stars out of 288 people.
I actually know a guy in Bangor who ate toenails and was sent to the hospital and had to have his stomach pumped because he had toe main poisoning. Nothing?
I've never
Nothing?
seen this.
Yeah, why would you? Why would you have seen this?
I paint my toenails.
Yeah. Would you try press on toenails? Because you don't wear press on nails either.
Well, yeah, but this nail got funky, like I lost a piece of it.
Yeah.
So, like, if I really lost a nail or something, I might use one just to cover it till it grew back.
That's a thought. That is a thought.
I'm gonna look it up on Amazon and see, like, the highest rated toenails.
Who makes the best fake toenails? I would love to know. You know, I figure Sally Hansen would probably be like the leader in that
I don't see
industry.
that name, though.
Yeah. Anyway, while Joyce is looking that up, I want to get to the Friends of the Daverhood because these are people who have been on this program. Now, we haven't had guests the last 2 weeks because it's Labor Day times. I'm busy, they're busy, and I just want to do a more simple kind of a show.
They
But
say it's a choking hazard.
well, yeah, anything's a choking hazard if you eat it.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess nails kind of would be. But,
It says how to polish your toenails, file the inside. So if you're polishing your toenails, why would you put...
how do you polish the inside? Oh, I guess you polish the inside of these things. I don't know. Anyway, folks who have been on this program in months and years past, we call them friends. We treat them like family. We like to sort of know, hey, so-and-so was on this program way back when. What are they up to now? Let me tell you, we call these the Friends of the Daverhood. And so, ladies and gentlemen, few things over this weekend and the week ahead of people who, you can go in our archives and see or hear the interviews with these folks back when we did them. Now also, hey, what are they doing? For example, tonight, Adam Pascal, remember him from Rent and Aida on Broadway, he's going to be at 54 Below this evening, September 2nd. And then on Tuesday, Thomas G. Waits, who is generally an actor, we're not talking about Tom Waits, but Thomas G. Waits, the New York actor and director, he's in a band, and his band is going to be playing at the 11th Street Bar. That is on Tuesday evening. And then on Thursday evening, you can see J.O. Sanders. I guess this is beginning, I think starting on that day and then running, because they're doing a revival of the Broadway show Pearly Victorious. And it's going to feature our friend J.O. Sanders playing at the Music Box Theater on West 45th Street in Midtown on Broadway. J.O. Sanders starting on Thursday in Pearly Victorious. And then also on Thursday, there's going to be a reading of the comedy How to Break Up a Wedding, featuring our friend Jessica Schur, that is happening at Playwrights Downtown over on 440 Lafayette Street, right near the Public Theater.
I think there's a category called press-on toenails.
I'll-
Fascinating.
I would think, well, you thought of it. You thought of it, and somebody just happened to think of it
but
before.
apparently
Yeah.
I didn't think of it.
Jeff Harner, he's going to be playing on Friday. On Friday they're releasing his album, and this is very clever. It's called A Collective Sigh. A Collective C-Y. Sigh for Cy Coleman, the wonderful Broadway composer. So he's doing a bunch of Cy Coleman songs. It's a PS Classics record with our friend Jay Lenhart on bass. So that's being released on
One
Friday.
company's called Ladying.
Ladying.
Ladying, like being a lady.
Well, I'll betcha a lot of cross-dressers and, the people who, what do they call those? The entertainers who are,
Oh, drag queen.
drag queens use these things.
They're pretty.
Yeah. Well, why not? Jason Gra is in Oscar Brand's musical, co-written with Oscar Brand, How to Steal an Election. And the York Theatre is doing that as part of their Mufti series, playing now just through tomorrow. So you have just a couple more chances. Now, Mufti series at the York Theatre is kind of like they're staged, but in minimal kind of what some people might be still on book. They're staged readings, because they're only done for a week or two, of old musicals that generally, they ran for a little bit. Maybe there were minor hits or minor flops, but they still have some good stuff in them. So, How to Steal an Election. Oscar Brand wrote it, the folk singer who was on our show many years ago. He has since passed. And the wonderful, beloved Jason Gra is in there at the Mufti series of the York Theatre, where our friend Jim Morgan is the artistic director. Also, let you know that from the 8th, so from Friday through the end of October, Neil Berg and Robert Schenken's musical, it must be musical, The 12, is being done at Goodspeed Musicals in East Haddam, Connecticut. So Neil Berg, of course, does 100 years of Broadway, but he's been concentrating. He's got a musical up that they're doing at Goodspeed. So that's pretty cool. Congratulations to him. Running from the end of this week through late October. This is your last chance, basically your last 3 chances to see Tova Feldshuh in Funny Girl on Broadway. This is also your last chance to see Leah Michele at the August Wilson Theater. So, they turned the flop around, turned it into a big old hit, and Tova Feldshuh was part of that. If you want to see it, you got to see it this afternoon, tonight, or tomorrow matinee. You can see Lilias White in Hadestown on Broadway at the Walter Kerr Theater, and you can hear the music of Alan Menken in both Aladdin on Broadway and the revival of Little Shop of Horrors off-Broadway at the West Side Theater. At the Algonquin, K.T. Sullivan holds court on Tuesday evenings from 6 to 8 p.m. At Don't Tell Mama, Seth Biesenhirsch does his variety show, Seth's Talent Showcase, on Tuesday nights. Let's see what else. Eric Comstock and Barbara Fasano, of course, are at Birdland, birdlandjazz.com. That's on Saturday evening, so go tonight at 5:30. Vince Giordano and the Nighthawks play 2 gigs at Birdland on Monday nights. And Jim Caruso's Cast Party later night at Birdland. Go to birdlandjazz.com for tickets to all of these events. Check stagebuddy.com for all your New York nightlife needs, a website run by our friend Evan Seplow. And subscribe to drdemento.com for brand new Dr. Demento shows, as well as, for a fee, access to Demento shows going all the way back to the 1970s. Pretty fantastic. And finally, gotta give shout outs to people who are usually here, but aren't today. For example, what?
Your peeps.
Well, our peeps, Leslie Hoban Blake, who usually plays our trivia
He
quiz.
still has the crown, I believe.
Well, and finally, you remember she was gonna mail it
Oh, did
to,
we mail it back? Yeah.
and then the post over, this is non-deliverable for whatever reason.
So who, to us?
No, she was gonna either David Sheward or the winner, Richard.
Maybe David returned it.
Oh, he didn't want the crown?
No, I don't know.
It's the beautiful crown for being trivia maven of Today Yesterday. But you can see her reviewing theater with our friend Charlie Gross on Two on the Aisle if you go to the YouTube channel Two on the Aisle. And David Sheward, read his theater reviews in theaterlife.com, culturaldaily.com, and totaltheater.com. Plus, check out his fun blog, The David Desk. Lots of stuff happening every week. Our shout out to David Sheward. Vicky Quaddy out there in Chicago doing Late Night Catechism and other shows. So a big loving heart to her. We gotta get her back on the show. It's been a while now, but haven't been doing the quizzes. And those, my friends, are the friends of the Daverhood. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it's about 20 after 11 Eastern Time in the Daverhood. So, stop that now. We've read the magnificent opus Dig It. We've gone to Greeley, Colorado for Greeley Times. We've talked all about everything from Jimmy Buffett to sharting.
To chess masters who put
might
their pieces where the sun don't shine.
Pieces where they do the pieces. Yes.
To, friends in the book that bury each other with a digger.
Yeah.
That's a ditch digger. He dug a ditch and put his friend in it.
No, well, the friend jumped in it to surprise.
No.
Or Al.
That's like the plot of some Hosier video.
Yeah,
It's like, that's not good.
Everything's wrong about that book.
That's not good.
We talked about Potato Day in Colorado, of course. So what else is there to talk about? Well, speaking of Colorado, Old Dave, for many years now, has been writing a poem about a different town or city or place in Colorado. And then it's a terrible...
Maybe we should buy some of these fake toenails and put it on your thing.
We can put them on, like,
No, on you.
potato.
Wait till they see the Halloween potatoes. They're going to be blown off.
Actually, Bunion... You could put fake nails on me for Bunion Watch next week.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. We'll do something. Maybe I'll get construction paper and I'll do it.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Or we can get more of the... I wonder if I can fit this on one of my toes. It happens. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, God.
Where's the other one? We had 3.
We have 2. One of them, I think, is... Well, I know where one of them is. This is my pencil
If I go
case.
back to Hopkins, I can buy more if they have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
In different colors.
This is like a Shishi boutique, but the price I got them is the same price it is on the interwebs, but there's no shipping.
No shipping, right.
But
No shipping!
I wish they had the flamingo.
Oh, you know what we haven't heard in a year and a half? No shipping! David Squeeze Annakie.
Oh, yes. I'm going to look for him.
How's he doing?
What? Oh, okay, wait. David Squeeze Anarchy Bio Life. Live with Squeeze. Oh, wait.
So there's this guy who's on radio constantly on like the Caribbean station in and around New York, and I guess New Jersey too.
Honey.
It's like a 50,000 watt station. Is that David Squeeze Annakie?
Yes, he's getting on the Peloton. He's about to get on the Peloton.
Thanks to, of course, them. They took care of me.
Look
It's
at
time
that.
to ride, baby.
Oh, I'm gonna read. I'll redo it.
Morning, Instagram. It's rugged as they come. I'm about to get on this Peloton, but I got my Alpha Plus Supreme, and of course, it's in my Corksicle. Thanks to, of course, them. They took care of me, but it's time to ride, baby.
So this guy, he buys time on the station for these infomercials about all these weird.
Oh, and then he's also talking about credit repair. That's his other.
Yeah, he does 2 things. It's not just that he's got
Oh,
bathtubs.
he's doing. Oh wait, he's.
Well,
doing,
show me. Oh yeah,
no,
yeah.
He's doing some deadlifts. Yeah.
I didn't realize he was in that. First of all, I thought he was much older. Second of all, he's obviously buff. He's a good-looking, really well-built guy. But he's pushing
Link Up Radio. That
supplement
USA
things.
Credit Repair. Oh, someone is BioLife is a conspiracy. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's called BioLife and Bio Oil. And he's a great pitch person. He's incredibly in your face and incredibly.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is I, Squeeze, right here on 93.5 WVIP FM and also WAVS I am here in, of course, New York City.
Well, VIP is
I just
Philadelphia.
wanted to actually speak with a lot of people today. Want to welcome each and every one. Many of you are just joining us. We have been on in Florida on 1170 WAVS. Want to say thanks to, of course, Winsome Charlton, who celebrated her birthday last week. Okay, Scorpion Cheers.
But he's got game. He's got swag, if you will. But his main he works himself into a fever
Really
pitch.
like it, yeah.
Pitching bio oil, the bio oil. Buy now 3 bottles for price of 17. No shipping. Yeah, it's just we used to sit there and they would play the same pre-recorded ones over and over again. And Joyce and I would sit there in the local park having a little bit of a meal in the car and listen to David Squeeze Annakie doing his pitch, taking phone
Wildlife
calls.
Farms. It says it was
Yeah.
founded in 2020 by philanthropist David Squeeze Annakie.
Philanthropist. Oh, I guess he must give to his community and all of that. But that's the weird thing. He would do these pitches for these chemical
He
or
also does
healthy
like
chemicals.
get your credit together.
Right. I mean, literally, it would be the same guy. As a, do you need help with your credit score? I mean, what the?
Do you want to be a strong man or strong woman? Or do you have a low credit score?
Right. Strength of a man. What was it? Grace of the woman or something.
It says he's an entrepreneur and philanthropist.
Yeah.
Served the Black and immigrant community in New York and the tri-state area for 15 years via his Linked Up Media brand, BioLife, Linked Up Radio, and USA Credit Repair.
I give him, on something except for mixing up a bunch of weird chemicals and selling them to
Here's
people.
his
He's got the life I'm like, come on, who wouldn't want to be him, right? Clean cut, good looking, well built, and fixing people's credit
Strength,
scores.
and he's got strength of a man or grace of a woman.
Yeah.
See about.
Squeeze, man. Good for him. And being, of course, being on the radio. Buying time on all the, he's on bigger radio stations. I mean, these are major
Wash on
signals.
Wheels supplies too, and T-shirts for mankind.
T-shirts for me.
Launch already and Santa Lux Clean. He's got a lot of.
Yeah. He's got fingers in, but he wants to be Oprah. Yeah. He's kind of Caribbean-ish at the moment. Oprah dude. It's interesting that he hasn't become more famous already.
Well, people are giving him a lot of interesting stuff about his products too. So.
Good or bad or indifferent. Well, of course, when he gets on, they always tell how wonderful they are. When
Why do they call him Squeeze? That's what I want to know.
Well, could have been going back to.
And then look at this one. This
yeah.
is Case Handler, where they're talking about all the, like, if you get injured in a car accident. Remember that one?
Oh my God, yeah.
Remember that.
If you get injured in a car accident involving a man with a giant Watusi bull. So should I play? Which am I
I
playing?
was playing. I thought I hit one.
Oh.
Just play one.
Yeah, I'll try this one. Let's see. Hold on. Because this one seems to be moving, but
Let me
there's
see.
no,
The volume.
the one underneath, yeah.
Which one? That one.
Seems they're already playing, but I don't.
Anyway, good morning, Adam Adler. How you doing, man?
Hey man, what's going on?
Everything is going on, man. I mean, we're here.
Yeah.
I was just playing that track, and I'm like, man, the people in the community will not have this consistent radio station playing Caribbean music and getting information anymore. But hey, as we said, we move on.
We move on, absolutely. Listen, I've always known this about this community, that you guys are survivors, you're adapters, and there's a diaspora. I was, at that Jamaican Independence Gala with you last weekend, and I appreciate your gracious invite, and I had.
Yeah, no, right.
No, don't do that because you're going to
Oh, well,
get
okay,
on the
but
air.
yeah. No, but I wonder if they took, you know how radio stations are. They have a format and then they're sold.
I don't know any of it. I think it's,
Wow. Well, he's on VIP now. He's on even bigger stations
is that
buying
good?
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's paying to play, honey,
Oh, he is.
Oh,
These are infomercial. I mean, some of these things he's probably a regular host, but some of these other
yeah.
things, if he's pitching 15-minute segments of bio
Then
oil,
it's got to be like a pay.
yeah.
Okay.
But he has the money
Mhm.
to pay to play. When I first started Dave's Gone By, I was paying to play, and then I got hired by the radio station. So, I made absolute garbage minimal wage money working, but it saved me the money of having to pay for the show. So that was I got the give back, if you will, that way. But more power to him. But it just made me think of that when you were like, no shipping on the nails or no shipping on the chicken, the all important
No, I'll get that for you.
rubber chicken.
I will get it. I think you will love it.
I think until I accidentally shoot it into my own eye.
Well, that'd be kind of hard, but if you do that, I think you would.
It's not that hard, babe. If you we were just watching QI yesterday. Remember there was one person who.
Oh, they fell over. The guy was dressed as a mascot and fell over. That one.
Oh no, that was funny. But there was also someone who, and then it's just a horrible. How on earth did they take their eye out or something like that? And it was just some kind of, they looked into something or didn't realize that something was, and then they pointed the wrong way. I'm kind of vague on this. I'm sorry. Anyway, it's 11:30 in the morning Eastern time here in the Daverhood. I'm Dave Lefkowitz. I'm not David Squeeze Annakie. I am the now co-creator of Bunion Watch, our weekly segment. Yeah.
It's serious.
And I am the creator of the Colorado Limerick of the Damned, which we've been doing for a very long time now. Have about 260, 270 different poems about different places in Colorado. Our latest, we're going to Summit, Colorado. Yes, this is the pinnacle of all the Colorado Limericks of the Damned. Summit, Colorado. We're going to tell you a little bit about it, and then I'm going to read a 5-line, awfully tasteless. How about, this one's bad. Yeah, this one's kind of bad. It is our Colorado Limerick of the Damned.
A limerick is a comic verse of 5 lines, in which lines 1, 2, and 5 will end with words that rhyme, and likewise verses 3 and 4 also end with words that rhyme. So this is a limerick. Rocky Mountain, Colorado.
Yes, see, I've got to put together something like that in my spare moments for Bunion time. Well, for Bunion Watch. But for now, we've got.
Dun, 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 dun. I think it's Fight the
Village.
Power. Fight the
Yeah.
Power. Fight the
Oh,
Power.
hi. Maybe that or just the movie score for Happy Feet.
Oh,
Or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, you did the one, the Foot,
My friend's name is Foot. But if I do a pastiche, like an audio pastiche of a little bit of my pal's name is Foot. Something about toes. Timothy has 10 little toes and 10 from the roaches. I'll figure it out. Perhaps not soon. This might have to wait until December until I have a theme song for it. But something to keep you in suspense. Anyway, our Colorado Limerick of the Damned going to Summit, Colorado. Summit County is a big old county in slightly northwestern central Colorado. 31,000 people in this area. It's like 619 square miles. This is huge. It's not just a little city or town. It's like lots of stuff in there. For example, the best known town within Summit, Colorado is Breckenridge, along with Keystone and Dillon and Silverthorne. And in terms of politics and presidents, Summit has not voted Republican since 1988. So in Bush versus the Dukakis, the first Bush, they went with Bush, but since then they've all been going Democrat. As of 2019, the average price for a single-family home in Summit, Colorado, is $1.2 million in this enormous area, because it's Colorado. The average life expectancy, this is amazing. Life expectancy for people in Summit County is the longest in the United States. 85.5 years for men, 86 or 88 years for women. Well, you're obviously a gerontologist, a gerontological health science teacher. What numbers do you give your students?
Depends on the person's income, education, race, location, et cetera, health conditions, right?
And are the United States still somewhere in the top 10 of life expectancy, or have we gone?
I don't think we're doing that
whatever. Anyway, plus people in Summit County, not surprisingly, places for hiking, biking, climbing, skiing. Copper Mountain is there, boating because Lake Dillon is there. It's Summit, Colorado. And now here is a Colorado limerick of the damned. A creepy old dentist from Summit would poke his wife's pussy and gum it. She'd cry out in pain and beg him in vain, at least give me something to numb it. Please send your comments and complaints to davesgoneby@aol.com. No kidding. davesgoneby@aol.com. Dave, did you get the dentist thing with a numbing? Because it would be a Nova. I was hoping to rhyme pain with Novocaine, but that didn't quite work out. davesgoneby@aol.com. I try and read everything that I get. I don't have a chance necessarily to write back. Certainly if you're commenting or posting on Facebook under the show on the Dave's Gone By Facebook page. I read them, I glance at them, I don't necessarily, but that's also for all of you to read if you're posting on Facebook. But please feel free. Tell me what you thought of the show. Give me ideas for guests or future shows. Tell me what you thought of the Limerick of the Damned or our Colorado, our Greeley Times segment, or when we have, of course, the quiz play along. It's all in good fun. It's davesgoneby@aol.com. You can also follow our Twitter feed, Radio Dave 2. It's Radio Dave, the number 2. And please also check out my other website, davelefkowitz.org. davelefkowitz.org. This is not where the radio or the show is. This is where you can read my stuff, my plays, my theater reviews, the interviews I've done with people, for places like Long Island Woman or Long Island Pulse or Playbill. Just lots and lots of different, hundreds of pieces of stuff that you can read of mine at davelefkowitz.org. Well, OMG, I do believe we're finished for this Labor Day weekend episode of the Dave's Gone By Facebook podcast and programming of the stream. We've done Chicken. We've shown him a few times. We've briefly shown Pooey. We opened, certainly with a mouthful. We've talked about, of course, Potato Day being next Saturday in Greeley, Colorado. And of course, we've dug it. We dig it. I mentioned sharding, as I do almost every episode. We've run the gamut, and any other things to bring up? Any other items of interest or not interest?
No,
or
I can't believe you did
not 3 hours today, like 2 hours and 40 of the 909th episode of Dave's Gone By. We did, and thank goodness we also did mention our mascot for the show, Melvin G. Mintz, who will always be with us in our corner. So we wish all of you most happy, good, safe Labor Day weekend. If you're driving somewhere and the bull is over a certain weight,
Oh yeah.
maybe take the station wagon instead. I'm just saying. Meanwhile, I want to thank all of you for tuning in as you do every week. I think I will try and do a show next Saturday. I guess that would be the 9th. I'm not sure yet. Please check this Facebook page. Check davesgoneby.com. Just because if I get a little overloaded, I might have to put some weeks of the school year on the back burner. But for now, this is still kind of fun. So I'm still doing them. And maybe, I should take this off too. Because the next, there'll be a 1 here. And the next show is going to be called The One After 909, right? Gotta do it.
109 plus 1.
909 plus 1. Boom, boom. See, if I were still on the college radio station, I'd play the Beatles song, and that would be that.
You can hum it.
I should have saved Dig It for The One After 909, because they're both on the same album.
So maybe just put it together, make it.
Oh.
You can give it a subtitle, right? You're an academic, do a colon or semicolon. and put
You
it
know what,
there.
you know what? Let it be. As we take you across the universe, because this show is I, Me, Mine, here on Dave's Gone By. And have a wonderful weekend. Any shout outs? Anything?
Nope.
And gone by.
Days gone by.